with Jason Ross.
Oh, good Lord. Sactown Sports 1140.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Thank you, and thanks to Jay. Justin. Jay, the
Who?
guy in there. Him. The bald one on the show. Thank you.
Watch it.
For yesterday. And never mind.
You're welcome.
You gotta understand, everybody.
Can you feel it?
I can. I definitely did.
Beef free.
Yeah, beef free. Yeah, good morning. Love y'all. Love y'alls. Yeah, it's a special challenge to do a 3-hour morning show on or any show on sports. It's even better when one of the guys texts in like 45 minutes prior is like, hey, sorry, can't make it today. Do all 3 hours on your own. Appreciate it. And you guys always pull that off magnificently, so I appreciate it. And I'm always so apologetic. And then they say, don't apologize. But, it's like not being able to go in a playoff game. Well, regular season game, let's be honest.
We want a handwritten note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Migraines are dumb. And then when I'm better, it's always like this euphoric feeling of like, oh, this is how it feels. It's so great. And the thing that sucks is like I fell asleep after I texted Jay and got done with everything yesterday, pre-show. I fell asleep. I woke up about 8:15. I took a shower, long, hot shower, got in some comfy clothes. And then by the time you guys were off at 9, we had kind of a post-show meeting. And it's like, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. Although you got to see my bedhead.
Yeah, it was really good yesterday.
Yeah, it was
extraordinary.
Up.
Yeah,
I think Jay pointed out best. It was like a extended Beaker look from the Muppets.
Yeah, you were like 6'8" yesterday.
Yeah, 6'8" with the hair.
Yeah,
they don't do that, right?
No, well,
yeah. When they're measuring you at camp, if you have giant hair, they're running the thing to your scalp,
maybe
right?
It just like pushes down. I don't know.
I mean, like I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Who was it? Alfred Payton.
When that little... They're not measuring that.
I don't know.
Or like if I had a mohawk or something.
I do want to be fair to you. You said you gave like 45 minutes heads up. That's not fair.
What was it?
Gave 81 minutes.
81. Okay, very good. Well, it always sucks because listen, there are times I don't mention when I wake up and I'm hurting and I'm Kevin hurting. And I come in or I take my meds. I'm able to catch it and I'm able to come in. Sometimes I'll be medded up and sometimes it's just ibuprofen, but I can catch it. It's fine. It's whatever. That happens, a few times. But there's this go time where it's like, okay, I've got to make a call. And the easiest calls to make, like yesterday, is when I can't see. I couldn't see very well yesterday. Everything, for those of you who suffer from migraines, lights turn into... The best way to describe it is like crosses, like the Jesus crosses, like they're very like T's. They're very you can't see, and it's not a good idea to drive. So, anyways, that was that, and it was like an ice pick, and the soft spot in the back of your right where your neck connects with your hand, like that, which sucked because there was so much to talk about yesterday.
Yes,
you guys did a great job. I heard you with Sean Salisbury. That's always fun, and I mean. Obviously, had I felt the way I did yesterday, today, I would still not be here today. But in a way, I'm actually, no offense to Sean and everybody, but glad it happened yesterday, not today, because today can't be missed. Today is a great day. Today is a real good day for the show. And I'm really excited about our announcement we have, which for all of you listening right now, you don't get for another 2 hours.
What?
Yeah, sorry. 2 hours and 22 minutes to be.
Well, I'm going to announce it right now.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay, I'm ready.
But a little bit late.
Okay, like about 2 hours.
I did it for everyone off air. Remember how people say I'll take my answer off air?
Yes.
I told all those people off air.
You know what's so funny? I had people in my seriously, I had people in my DMs this week because I leave them open. For people that are struggling with their mental health. But instead, I get some DMs. Dude, I gotta know, man. I won't say anything. Who's a new addition to the show, bro? And it's fine, whatever. Which I guess is nice because there's interest, and that's neat. It's better no interest, but
Well, they're here. You want to have them come over and get into the camera?
The new edition.
Uh-huh.
And no, you guys can guess. It'll be interesting to see if people do guess. It is a name everyone knows.
Yes.
This is not like a member of the show where they're sitting in with us.
No.
They're every week we're adding them to our friends list.
Yeah.
Basically. And
joining.
Yeah.
Like Kayte.
Yeah.
Who's going to be on today?
Kayte.
Matt Barrows. Papa.
Sam. Papa.
Yeah.
Dave Richard.
Sean.
This one, I did say this one, I think will have, not that any of the other people we mentioned don't, but 100% approval rating.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be 100. But dare I say, gosh, I don't want to offend any of our other guests.
I think it's already happening.
I think so. They're all getting I would say this. I'll bet you if after we make this announcement, we took a poll and said rank all our guests.
Oh, that's a dangerous one.
But I'll bet you this one will be number one.
Okay.
And maybe that's recency bias.
Yeah, could be.
I'm just trying to say.
Yeah.
We're very excited. And can we just fast forward?
Sure.
Just fast forward time machine at 27. Without getting this is always great. It's like when you say nice things about somebody and then you crap all over them. Whenever you say stuff like without getting political, and then of course you're gonna get political. I'm just honestly general questions here. Everybody calm down. Are you a election guy? Do you watch? Do you ignore it? Do you go to bed early? Do you stay up late?
I didn't yet. I mean, I'm a vote guy.
Sure.
First and foremost, that needs to happen because my own belief, I think everybody has their beliefs on all sorts of things, but I kind of don't really want to hear from you if you don't vote.
I feel the same way as you.
So
do.
Now again, hey, it's one vote, doesn't matter. But if everybody had that approach, then we wouldn't get people to vote. I think you need to vote. You can like the result, hate the result, vent about it, praise it, but please vote. I mean, now
just
it's past the time. Then your voice was heard, even if you feel like it wasn't. So that's my biggest thing. But I would say in general, I am, but I really was not yesterday.
Yeah,
I just wasn't.
Midterms generally have less of historically have less of an appeal than the presidential. That's nothing new. I was definitely interested and still am in some locals. The sports betting thing, jeez, just God.
Yeah, it's going to show up in 3 for Madness. But I just thought initially, I thought, that like way back when it was first being talked about, I'm like, that's definitely going to go through. And then as it was getting, 2 months ago, I'm like, it's not getting a lot of good feedback.
No.
And I
just don't. It's like, okay, here's the bottom line. It's legal in 30 states already, which isn't a reason in itself. And it's already happening so all over the place. You're just missing out on all California basically said was like, we don't want the revenue. So you're still going to do it.
Right.
We just don't want that revenue.
Yeah.
So you have to go take that revenue to Tahoe, or you have to go online. Now, listen, I'm not immune to the fact that there's a lot of people that have real bad gambling problems. There's a reason why there's a 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sure.
And I do think that we're going to have big, long think pieces. In fact, we probably already do with stories about the widespread the growth of gambling on sports and the legality, the fact that you can just sit on your phone on your couch in 30 states and bet all kinds of stuff. And, marriages falling apart and, bankruptcy, of course, but it's like that with any addiction, anything that people become addicted to. But to those of us who might enjoy the occasional wager, myself, of course, not at all, but like my friend, for example,
right,
who enjoy, it's on you to be responsible. I think the thing that people forget about California is it's an incredibly diverse and interesting state, and it's a lot more conservative about some things than people realize.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just maybe the inequities on some stuff. You would feel like, okay, if it's a no to sports gambling, then no to gambling,
right?
And there's
a
casinos, there's a lottery that people are lined up to pay and try to win a Powerball and whatever, and so the inequity, the imbalance is interesting to me. Let's just say,
at least with sports gambling, obviously there's a reason why the house wins. But at least with sports gambling, like I feel more confident if I was doing sports gambling than I would be if I was playing a slot or blackjack or whatever, because so much of that, you can have all the skill in the world. It helps a tiny bit on the margins. And same thing with sports gambling. But I feel like, okay, I have a knowledge of sports, so at least I can apply a little bit of that.
Right.
Anyways, we have a big fat show for you. We got a Kings game tonight. We've got a last 2-minute report to go over. I think they're actually we may be announcing soon they're going to replay overtime. They're going to put Kevin Huerter on the line. They're going to cancel tonight's Cavs game, and they're going to put Kevin Huerter on the line.
To San Francisco.
Yeah. So that's good. It's good that last 2-minute report.
Everything's being pushed back.
Everything's being pushed back.
Let's go. Let's do it.
You know what else is being pushed back is my mother-in-law's home purchase. Not it's still happening, but it's just an example of we're dealing with somebody else. We can't make everybody go to Shelby, although I wish we could. And it's so interesting whether it's a real estate transaction I've done in the past or watching other companies do them from the other end. You know, how much you can take for granted working with Shelby and everybody at United Wholesale Lending, because it's just so darn smooth. And that's just not the case at so many other places. These loan officers and brokers freaking out because rates are so high. Whereas Shelby's doing things like helping you buy it down and showing you paths to where you can still get that rate lower than it is out in the market. And it makes sense for you and your home. Oh, yeah. And programs like the Home Equity Builder, giving first-time home buyers a head start with immediate equity in your house. Loan of up to 10% of the purchase price of the home goes on there. And then that loan's forgiven if you're in the house for 5 years as your primary residence. Yeah, that's not a joke. It's not made up. $400,000 house, $40,000 loan. That's that 10%. Make around $80,000 a year in income. You know, because there's income requirements. Oh yeah, you get that $40,000 back in 5 years. Whether you're looking to refinance, purchase, whatever it is, Shelby's your guy. We'll hear from him later at refinancewithshelby.com. That's refinancewithshelby.com. Enlist number 279-051. The area number 018-643-54. The Kings are back in action tonight. Told you about the new weekly member of the program, 827. And the Raiders are raidering. Leading off right now.
Let's do it. It's time for Leading Off. Brought to you by Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge, where for over 60 years, their name means a great deal in Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovedodge.com. Here's cut number 1.
Huerter crowded by Draymond Green, forced to give up the ball to De'Aaron Fox. Thompson working on him. Fox shakes him off. Screen from Sabonis. Hesitates in the paint. Got to pull up. Scores it. 8-footer by De'Aaron Fox. He now has 26 in the ball game. It's 102-97, 2-possession separation.
Yeah, well, he's had a couple days to sit on that Warriors debacle. And it doesn't get any better, because I'd rather face the Warriors again than this Cavs team.
I think this is the best team they've played to date. Maybe Memphis. Them or Memphis. Cleveland's a good defense, a good offense. They're loaded. They're experienced. It's be a great test for the Kings tonight.
The Cavaliers lost their first game of the year, 108-105 in Toronto. And they just lost their second game of the year.
Yeah, nice 8-game win streak between that.
Yeah. They lost to the Clippers 119-117 in Los Angeles. So they're going to be a little angry.
Yep.
Early returns are the Donovan Mitchell deal was fantastic for them. Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell are arguably now the best backcourt in the league, arguably. And they're just a strong, good team. I really want to say, let's put it this way. If the Sacramento Kings win tonight, I'm going to come in tomorrow shell-shocked, absolutely shell-shocked. Like, and I'm not just doing the thing where I set expectations low to do it. Evan Mobley and Jared Allen are two phenomenal, tough, big men. This is the Achilles heel for the Kings. And then, oh, by the way, you have that backcourt. This to me is, like we talked about the Orlando matchup being bad for the Kings, but they're not that skilled yet. They're still growing. this is the nightmare scenario matchup for the Kings.
Yeah. I think to date, like if you start to just look at records, we're still early. Utah leads the West. I mean, great story, but I don't think of them as one of the league's great teams. The Warriors are the defending champs. They haven't been themselves. No. Milwaukee's a great start. So is Cleveland. Yeah. And I think Cleveland's a complete team. They're a good team. I didn't even see they've got to be favored. They're
favored by 4.
Oh, I thought it would have been a little bit more.
I think that's incredibly low.
Yeah, but can the Kings beat them? Of course they can. But I'm with you. It would be an upset. I think the spread should be higher.
Yes.
Kings are gonna have to play great, and it could be one of those nights where they play well and they don't win.
I honestly would. I'd probably have the spread around 6.5, 7.
Mm-hmm.
That's
yeah.
And listen, credit to the Kings. I know people are out there saying you gotta beat teams getting. You're right. You gotta beat teams to get in the playoffs. This just happens to be arguably a top 5 team in the NBA and a horrible matchup.
Yeah,
a horrible matchup.
It's better that it's here, but still, and again, of course the Kings can, but I think this is one of those. If it's a series, the Kings don't win on a night. Sure, Sacramento could beat them
on a night. Sure. By the way, the Kings twice as many wins on the road than at home.
Okay.
That's a stat.
Yeah, this is a stat.
It's a bad stat. Number 2.
Cut number 2.
Here is Ryan. Slant. Intercepted on the deflection. Picked off by the Raiders at the 40-yard line. Jonathan Abram.
I remember him.
Yeah, I do too. Jonathan Abram.
Great young prospect for the Raiders.
Well, you know what? Raiders have had some issues the last couple of weeks, and this is going to solve them. They waived Jonathan Abram.
They'll get better immediately. That was the issue. They might win out.
Abram lost his starting job a couple weeks ago to Deron Harmon. Did some special teams, was available at the trade deadline. 27th overall pick in 2019, and the third of the Raiders' 3 first-rounders who was Cleveland Ferrell, Abram, the other one. I don't know. 3 first-rounders. I'm blanking on that. Help me out, text line.
That same year?
Yeah.
Was that Jacobs as well? He's the one that, or no, another one that
wasn't that Josh Jacobs?
I think so.
Yeah.
So at least he's, but they've had others, Leatherwood, Ruggs. I mean, Ruggs had a different issue, but Leatherwood's release, yeah.
Oh, it says here in the article that he was on Hard Knocks, and he was the one debating Derek Carr on the pronunciation of salmon, saying it was salmon. I thought that was Max Crosby. I mixed it up. I was just talking to somebody about this 2 days ago. Yeah, I remember that. It's what it is. According to Next Gen Stats, of the 121 players who've logged at least 1,000 coverage snaps since 2019, Abram was allowed the second highest completion percentage as the nearest defender. Wearing number 24, though, which used to belong to Willie Brown and Charles Woodson.
Yeah, pretty sacred number for that organization.
For real. By the way, wasn't Willie Mays 24?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, apropos not, I'm just saying. Just think of great 24s. Yeah, dude. We'll get into this in a bit at 6:43. Just how terrible Gruden and Mayock were at this. Like, really bad. And the Raiders are recovering from that.
And really, I mean, it's tough to put a bright spot on Gruden, but Mayock especially.
Yeah. No, and here's the thing that I hate about the whole Mayock thing. Like, Mark Davis literally came out and said Gruden has 51% of control, Mayock has 49%. So, like, I'm not saying Mayock doesn't suck.
Right.
I just wish I knew.
Yeah, who had a bigger say on these picks?
Because, like, in the back of my head, I'm like, well, what if Mike Mayock was like, please don't pick Cleveland Ferrell.
Right.
Please.
Take Luka.
Right. Yes. What? Yeah, exactly. What if Gruden's like, now Bagley.
Yeah. Then it's on Gruden. But we don't know that for sure.
Then we'll never know. All right, number 3.
Cut number 3.
Number 2 goes down as Georgia, the number 1 team in the AP poll, knocks off the second-ranked Tennessee Volunteers. Final score from Sanford Stadium, Georgia 27 and Tennessee 13.
Tennessee falls 4 spots, 3 spots, depending on the poll you're looking at. Georgia is the undisputed. Well, the AP gave Ohio State 1 first place, so the undisputed number 1. Alabama now with 2 losses. You and I talked about that last week. That's got to do it for them.
I think so. I think the odds are really small. I think, what did they go to, 9? Somewhere in there?
They're 9. Now
some of these teams play each other. I mean, I think Ohio State and Michigan, they got right, so 2 Big Ten teams in there, but they're going to play each other. Hopefully I don't know that And if they're both undefeated and only gets one loss, it might keep one in the top 4. But
that's going to be such a huge game.
Yeah, but then one won't be in the conference tournament or their conference championship. So,
well, I'm just looking at Alabama. They play Ole Miss in Mississippi. They're number 11. Then they play Austin P. Like Austin Poo. I didn't pee. Poo. And then we're spending too much time together. Then Auburn to finish the year before the if they could even get into the SEC championship. They're going to need a lot of help. And to your point, Michigan, Ohio State, woof. That's at the Horseshoe.
Are you ready for TCU to be there? They're 4. Like, hey, they've done it. They're 9-0.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel right.
Oh, and by the way, Tennessee, what do you say about that? What do you do with Tennessee, who has one loss?
And it's to number 1.
And it's to number 1.
Yeah.
In Georgia.
Yeah. And finally, there's like 3 Pac-12 teams kind of close, but I don't know that Oregon, SC, or UCLA will do it.
How about Clemson being an 8-1 and losing the Notre Dame loss?
That was the other part of I didn't say this at the wedding for my brothers. We were in Chicago, and we apparently were at the Clemson Hotel. And Friday night, Saturday morning, a lot of festivities, orange everywhere. Like, they were having a good time. And then we were seeing the score at the dress rehearsal that night. Oh, my gosh. It was a quiet hotel that night. They were not happy.
I'll bet they were not.
No.
Oh, Orange, you glad you went to see the game? We'll take a break. When we come back, Adam Silver and Kyrie Irving met yesterday. We have the entire audio.
All of it?
No, we don't have any of it.
What?
No, I wish we did. And what is going on with Ime Udoka and that whole deal? That's weird. The Nets are weird. It's all weird. We'll talk about it next.
Listen Wednesday at 8:27 to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross as we announce a new addition to the show.
Yeah, we're certainly thrilled with
rips the cords for the first 3 points of the ball game. Welcome to Sacramento.
Wednesday at 8:27.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, a Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. So Chad, honest question, why drive all the way to Hoblet when the other guys are so much closer?
Well, I could tell you about our true pricing policy, where the price you see is the price you pay. I could tell you, in order to help support our community, all business owners, farmers, and first responders will get an extra $1,000 discount on their new Ram trucks, all of which makes us the #1 heavy-duty Ram truck dealer in California. Or I could let our customers tell the story.
Hoblet made the process so smooth when getting my partner's Jeep deal done. I came back a week later and bought my own Jeep. I appreciate Hoblet for their approach to getting deals done and treating people like people rather than another number.
Come see for yourself why Hoblet Dodge is your small town dealer with big city selection and savings. Come be treated like family instead of a sucker with Hoblet's true pricing with no dealer markups, add-ons, or hidden fees. Stop by Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland or see our full selection with true prices at HobletDodge.com. Best prices, best selection, period.
My daughter is in middle school, which means my car has to put up with, girls opening the door when their nail polish isn't quite dry, or soccer kids kicking the door shut with muddy cleats, or when their school crush shakes up a soda and opens it right in front of my bumper. So you can expect my car to look a mess. But I defy expectations. Thanks to Quick Quack, I don't have to look like middle schoolers are running this show, even though they kind of are. Get to Quick Quack for a shine that lets you defy expectations.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
Buying a new Acura is an easy decision, and Acura of Stockton makes buying easy. Come and see us today or shop online. If we don't have it, you can pre-select your favorite Acura and pick it up when it arrives. No contracts or deposits required. It's that easy. Plus, we'll pay top dollar for your trade whether you buy from us or not. Don't settle for less than the quality of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or online at AcuraofStockton.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Legend says that golf courses are made up of 18 holes because it took exactly 18 shots to finish a fifth of scotch. A shot per hole. As it turns out, the 18-hole limit came to be somewhat accidentally. In truth, there was no standard number of holes on a course. In the beginning, it might have been 11, 23, 15, or 7. St. Andrews, for example, had 22 holes until 1764 when 4 were merged to make it an 18-hole course. The exact date when 18 holes became the standard is a bit sketchy, but according to the British Golf Museum, the R&A issued new rules for its members in 1858, and Rule 1 stated, 1 round of the links or 18 holes is reckoned a match unless otherwise stipulated. We can only presume that this was slowly adopted throughout Britain. By the 1870s, more courses had 18 holes, and a round of golf was being accepted as consisting of 18 holes. Maybe not as romantic as the story of the bottle of scotch, but the truth is always stranger than fiction. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
It's hard to find a better selection of 4x4s in stock and ready to drive home today than you'll find at M&S Auto on El Camino right off the Cap City Freeway. New truck prices keep rising. M&S invites you to tour their selection of super clean 4x4s and trucks and save thousands. Tacomas, F-150s, Jeeps, Rams, Silverados. Great deals today on hundreds of 4x4s, SUVs, and muscle cars. First-time buyers are welcome. M&S Auto Sales, El Camino, just off the Cap City Freeway. MSAutogroup.com.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sepp Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sepp Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sepp's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Sactown Sports Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports Headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings return home to the Golden One Center tonight against Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Kings are coming off a 4-game road trip where the team went 2-2. Cleveland comes in sporting the second-best record in the Eastern Conference at 8-2. Coverage begins with game night at 5:30 on Sactown Sports. The Las Vegas Raiders have waived former first-round pick Jonathan Abram, the number 27 overall pick in the 2019 draft. Abram had been the Raiders' starting strong safety before losing his job in Week 8 to Duran Harmon. With Abram's release, only 11 out of 23 players drafted by former GM Mike Mayock and head coach John Gruden remain with the Raiders. California voters overwhelmingly rejected 2 propositions yesterday that would have expanded sports betting in the Golden State, despite over $600 million being spent on the 2 propositions combined. Had the propositions passed, sports betting would have been legalized by allowing it at tribal casinos and horse tracks or through mobile and online wagering. Coming up on today's show, Kings color analyst Kayte Christensen joins us at 8 a.m. from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The only local sports show in the morning.
On Sactown Sports 1140.
We welcome you back. Katie at 8, Wine Wednesday, 8:13. New member of the show at 8:27. I'm so scared I'm going to slip up and be like, and if everything works right, we may also have something cool for the YouTube viewers as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Dave. That's Jason. 1-800-912-1140. This is how you can call us. 916-339-1140. By the way, not one person has guessed who it is right yet.
Okay. I did see Stan Atkinson guess.
Oh, I missed that one.
Yeah.
Okay, well then.
But that's not correct. I will say that. That's not correct.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be.
There was a meeting yesterday between Kyrie Irving and Adam Silver. Apparently it was, quote, productive.
Okay.
That's PR talk. Who
Yeah.
knows? I hope this thing, listen, let's be honest. I just want Kyrie Irving to come back and play really good basketball and things to, everything to be great and love and happy and all that. But that's a fantasy world.
Yeah. Well, remember when the suspension, the team suspension, this isn't a league suspension. This is basically the Nets saying, hey, look, we gave you a little bit of a window here to clean it up, apologize, however you want to frame that. And they didn't like the way it was handled. And I feel like they had about a 4 or 5 point thing to Kyrie. So he's had more time. There's some money that needed to be donated, definitely trying to do that, and awareness and apologies. So I don't know where they are with all that.
It's interesting because the problem with stuff like that, not problem, one of the main discussion points with stuff like this is, you've got people saying, well, Kyrie did this, this person did this, and they're still not back, or they're gone for people we all compare. That's what we do. We compare. In sports, that's how we're taught, is to compare. Oh, well, this guy's having a really good year. Well, how does it stack up against Joe Montana?
Right.
We compare. So even with something that's real life serious like this, you compare. And the interesting thing is, depending on the political slant of the controversy, you see people that switching sides. Like I've seen some people that were, hey, free speech, guy can say what he wants. Now on this one saying, no, dude, it's free speech, but not freedom from consequences. People tend to a lot of times change their outlook depending on whether or not they agree with the sentiment or not.
Yeah, and now, or at least yesterday, Jaylen Brown is part of the NBA Players Association. I think they're kind of trying to step in there and step in front of one of their own, which is Kyrie Irving, thinking some of this stuff has been unfair to him. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know that it's this big fight by any means, but because ultimately this isn't a league deal.
No.
I mean, it's a reflection of the league.
Yeah.
So maybe there's some pushing and nudging, but the league hasn't come down and done anything. No. It's been more team-oriented from the Nets.
And when people bring up that Joe Tsai, who owns Alibaba, which is a massive, massive international company, there are some questionable business practices, to say the least. And when I say questionable business practices, when you look it up, you'll know I'm understating it, that Joe has that has happened under his watch. And people say, well, what about that? And I'm not a whataboutism guy, but I understand their point. Somebody might say, well, hold on a second, but it wasn't the thing with what was it with the in the meantime, the Nets are reportedly in many corners looking to bring in a guy who just got bounced out of Boston,
right, for
what had to be very serious things going on behind the scenes that were inappropriate. And it's like, okay, well, not good enough for Boston standards. They're saying Boston standards are higher than ours,
right?
Okay,
yeah, but are they doing it or not? I mean, like, that was the day of the Nash departure.
Yeah.
The big bombshell right after was, and they're in talks and might announce this within 24 hours.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is let the Kyrie Irving situation play out or what, or if they got a lot of bad and negative feedback. This is a really interesting story all of a sudden.
This smells very much like, and this is such a PR move, this smells very much like, let's leak it out about Udoka. It's with the Kyrie stuff, and then the Steve Nash thing happened. There's a saying in politics and political media where they call Friday take out the trash day,
right?
Where you throw all the stuff you want to throw it because there's only so many column inches. Internet's changed that quite a bit because there's no more column inches, but still, where you try to put stuff out under the radar. The Udoka thing sounds to me, it smells very much like they leaked it. Let's see what the reaction is, And then we can always say, yeah, no, we were never, we explore everything. We never really
said that.
Yeah. If the blowback's not a ton, then okay, we'll bring them on. It's their way of, without any real repercussions, floating the idea PR wise with nothing to lose.
Yeah. It felt like there were three prongs all at once: the Nash departure, the Udoka potential hire, and the Kyrie thing. The Nash departure just kind of, that went through the cycle.
Yes.
And Kyrie's still kind of in the cycle right now, and just, it seems like a holding pattern for the moment, and they're not really winning anymore at this moment. They don't have Kyrie playing, and you're waiting to see what they're going to do for the coach.
John on the YouTube chat says, anybody actually seen the movie that Kyrie linked?
You did, right?
I did, and I paid the $12, which I really had an internal struggle with, because I don't want to, I'll be very honest. I looked for a bootleg clip. I did. I went on YouTube. I went to a lot of places looking for a bootleg version.
You didn't want to support it.
I didn't want to support it.
Yeah.
100% didn't want to support it. But I knew that I'm talking about me, I was going to get into it for very obvious reasons when it comes to my familial background. And I think if you're going to wade hip deep into something like that, neck deep into something, I didn't want to be caught in a situation where I didn't know what the heck I was talking about.
Right.
Saw it. And no, he should not have linked to that. And I think that, we talk about whataboutism. I'm not going to do it. But I can tell you, I can make a very compelling case by substituting certain stereotypes and tropes from the past about insert group that would be very similar to what was in that movie, and people would lose their minds as much or more than some people were losing their minds about this. So it sucks, because I don't want anybody to see the movie. I don't want to support it at all, but at the same time, it's almost an incomplete conversation. Just, you don't have to see the movie to see some of the quotes that are out of there.
Sure.
You don't have to see the movie to see and read the synopses from other people who took the time to see it so that they could share what exactly was going on and why people were so upset. And that's just something you stay away from.
Yeah. I mean, I know you joked going into the break, not about the movie, but about us having the audio of Adams. Like, right. I honestly would be mean, we'll never get that audio or know exactly what was said. If they both get asked about it, they'll clean up that version. Not that it was nasty or whatever, but just, I really would be curious about how that conversation went.
I would too. I loved it. God, I'm not, we have every once in a while we'll bring up hey, if you could sit down with anyone, right? I think I don't know that Kyrie would be my number one, but he'd be close. I'd love to sit down with him. I really would, because I think this is like when I remember in Harry Potter, when Harry got his wand. This is so stupid, but this is how my brain works. The guy who gave him his wand said, your wand is going to do very great things, and then explained that he's only seen one wand like that, and it belonged to Voldemort, who also did great things. And he said terrible things, but great things. And I think with Kyrie, I think that he's done and said some really bad things, but also I think he has that desire to transcend his platform and move beyond the world of sports into intellect and spiritual and all that. And I respect that. I do. I think people should grow as humans, and I think people should be well read. The problem is that Kyrie comes off to me sometimes like somebody who is actually intelligent. Like, make no mistake, but intelligence and wisdom are two different things. And Kyrie sometimes reminds me of the kid that comes back from college his freshman year to visit his parents or his friends, and took his first year of philosophy, and now knows everything, is going to lay it out. And you're like, well,
I'm a deep thinker.
Wait till you get to year 2.
Yeah.
Wait till you get to year 2. Let's just calm down on all that. I'd love to sit down and talk. I'd love to tell him about the $49 offer. What a stupid segue. $49 offer that my good friends in American Energy have going right now. Hey, listen, it's finally real, actual holiday fall weather. And it's chilly. Running the heater, little fireplace going. I don't want to, one thing I don't generally do with these $49 tune-ups, which is a great deal from American Energy. It's a 30-point tune-up, your furnace, your air conditioner, because I don't want to do like scare tactics. But like in reality, it is kind of a safety thing. You do want, no matter who let me make this not a pitch. No matter who you choose, you do want to get your vents and stuff checked and cleared out and looked at, because that can be a very dangerous thing, especially when you're obviously when you're running the heater. Make sure that happens, but it can also save you a lot of money. Make sure your air conditioner, your heater, they all might be working. I'm sure they're working, but are they working efficiently? Seriously, or are you paying a ton of money? You go, why is my bill so high? I don't know why my son said that, but why is my bill so high? Well, it's because your heater is working 3 times as hard as it should be. Let American Energy take care of that. They've been serving the community since 1981. That's 10, 20, 30. That's a lot of years. And in order to do that, you can't screw around. You're going to have a lot of repeat business. You make friends. You make relationships. And that's what they've done. Book your tune-up today for only $49, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Or visit them at AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. We'll take a break. I'll clear my throat when we come back. The Raiders release another high draft pick. Just how bad were Mayock and Gruden? We'll do that next.
The Kings return for their 4-game road trip Wednesday against the Cavs.
Wide open, Malik Monk for 3. He's got the triple.
Coverage starts at 5:30 with game night
on Sactown Sports,
the flagship home of the Sacramento Kings.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
ATM Mortgage.
Hi, this is Jeff Tarbell. Are you tired of ever increasing rent payments? Now's the time to look at building your financial foundation, buying your own home, and ATM Mortgage can help. You can reach us today, 916-338-9400. That's 338-9400, or online at atmmortgage.net.
ATM Mortgage.
License under California CFL and MLS 223-4889.
Nick Cattle saying start your holidays right with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers from California Backyard. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill, it's turned me into a pro. Think outside the kitchen this year and cook your whole holiday meal on Napoleon Gas Grill. Napoleon, they are the grills built to last, all made with premium steel that boasts quality. Check out Napoleon Grills today at any of the 4 nearby California Backyard locations. Always the best in backyard living. California Backyards, check them out, Napoleon.com.
Life is full of choices. When buying a car, there's only one choice. Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Choose from our great selection and get top dollar for your trade. Pre-order today in person, online, over the phone, with no contract and no deposit necessary. Then simply pick it up when it arrives.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
The year was 1948. The Sacramento Symphony was founded. Harry Truman was president. Jerry Mathers from Leave It to Beaver was born. And Walter Keyes opened his first Naturewood home furnishing store 74 years ago on 25th and Broadway. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. All those many years ago, the Keyes family promised integrity and quality in serving families just like yours and mine. Near as I can tell, Walter would have been pretty proud to know that those same values are evident today at Naturewood Home Furnishings. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings. Furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their Veterans Day Save the Tax sale and get started making your own brand of memories. The Keyes family would love to hear them. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
You know they've been here for a combined 50 years.
Hey!
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back. So Jonathan Abram gets released. Oh, okay, that's how it's gross. Jonathan Abram, no longer a member of the Raiders. Yeah, it's
add him to the list.
Rough acting and acting for the Raiders when it comes to now they've had some draft successes, obviously. Josh Jacobs, I think you'd say, is a success.
Sure. Yeah.
Although they didn't extend him.
Right.
So yeah. Max Crosby, success.
Yes.
Hunter Renfrow.
Okay. Yeah.
Waller wasn't a draft, but
they found him.
They found him.
Saved him, kind of.
But yeah, dude.
What's the list here?
You got it.
Abram, Farrell, Arnett, Ruggs, Leatherwood. That's 5 guys. That first rounders, all of those guys.
It's not.
Now Ruggs
great.
was. I think Ruggs.
Ruggs would. Ruggs
looked
seemed
like
to be
he
on the
was,
right track.
Yeah,
right?
it looked like he was tracking for them.
Yeah,
Now he obviously had just a horrific
Yeah.
thing that he's responsible for. But the thing with this is, it's so much easier to do this now and go, oh man, how did they miss? But remember when it happened? I remember Cleveland Farrell. Like everybody couldn't believe they took him, and it wasn't second guessing. They were doing it on the spot. Like, hey, we had Leatherwood was a guy graded way lower than when they took him.
Yeah.
And
Leatherwood was, it's so weird. Every team has this. Like, listen, I get my Niners traded up to draft Solomon Thomas and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Like every team has stupid picks. But why does it think with the Raiders? And I'm not even a Raider fan, but I'm sitting here, I'm going, all right, Fabian Washington, Michael Huff,
right,
Darius Hayward-Bay.
It's a lot. There's a lot of them. And when the way the GMs and football experts treat draft choices as just this most insane compensation, it's gold for them, then you better get those right more times than not, especially the highest ones that need to, just like lottery picks, you want them. And that's part of what went wrong with the Kings all those years, people trying to pinpoint. I mean, there's lots of things, but if you can consistently get your draft correct, or at least close, you're maybe there's going to be a player around you that was better, sure, but you don't want to be the team that drafted the one that just didn't work at all, or is out of the league, or doesn't be a part of your organization.
No, you don't.
And Mayock and Gruden missed a lot.
They just missed. And it's on one hand, you look at Gruden, and last year it's tough because it was split. And I think a lot of Raider, in fact, I know a lot of Raider fans, I've heard them say it. A lot of Raider fans are sitting here wishing that Rich Bisaccia was still around. And, and who knows how that would have gone. But golly, John Gruden and Mike Mayock, you gotta say this. The team's record improved every year. But far more harm than good.
Yeah. And I don't know. I still am really fascinated by the drafting process in just about any sport. NBA is probably more intriguing to me because I think the pool of players that they generally get it right. The order ends up being wrong, but I don't know how there's a lot of smart people that make mistakes. And maybe if you're making some of the same mistakes, then you're not as smart as I think you are. But I don't know. I mean, I go back. The Raiders, of course, took JaMarcus Russell, and they get crushed for that.
That's right.
They get crushed for that. But he wasn't someone that was going to go in the 4th round.
No.
If he didn't go number 1 to the Raiders, he would have gone high too. Someone else would have taken him. But why do some people work? Why do some get it right? Is it the environment, the culture, that person themselves, the people they surround themselves by? I know everyone in an interview, like if you're interviewing me and I'm wanting to get drafted by your team, Dave, I'm going to hopefully say all the right things that I think you want to hear.
Yes.
But you're now trying to read me. Man, is this guy really going to work hard? Does he really say he says he wants to be the best of all time, wants to be a Hall of Famer? Is he going to, when that extra weight training session, that extra video session, that, pushing through injury, whatever it might be that you have to do to achieve greatness. And some breaks too.
Sure.
But, again, Tom Brady might be the greatest football player of all time. If he's not, he's right there. 6th round? That doesn't, there's so many, that doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. And these people get paid millions of dollars.
And the logic, he's big, but he's not that fast. Got a decent arm. You could have factored in all that other stuff.
Let's see here. I just wanted to give you a couple of things. Not only did Mayock and Gruden nail the draft, Raiders got 3 undrafted rookies that should make the 53-man roster. Alec Ingold, Devon Coney, Keelan Doss. It's one of my favorite drafts this year. Let's see. Chad Reuter, NFL.com, gave that draft a B+.
Yeah. These are the draft grades again. They're always
the draft grades. Christopher Knox, Bleacher Report, B+. Say what you want about the surprise selection of Cleveland Ferrell. And by the way, I say Ferrell because that's what they say. Shouldn't it be Farrell or Farrell? Yeah, I know. But he has the potential to give the Raiders a top-tier edge rusher for the next decade. Grabbing safety Jonathan Abram at number 27 was an underrated move. He's a thumper who should add a bit of bite on the back end of the Raiders defense. Honestly, they got Hunter Renfrow at pick 149. I mean, that's the thing. Pete Prisco gave it a B. Love the Jonathan Abrams pick. So you look at all these, it's not just the scouts. That's why whenever it's draft time, it's like, okay, we all get into it, but
yeah.
Because nobody knows.
Right.
Honestly, and this isn't what you should say in sports radio when you rely on audiences for this, because Lord knows ratings go through the roof. But honest to God, the conversations we have about the draft in advance are basically like us trying to talk about what we think the weather's going to be like in November of 2023. It really is.
Yeah.
We have models we can model. We know what it should be, but Wednesday, November 9th, 2023, is it going to rain? Oh, I think it's going to rain.
Here's why.
Here's why.
Yeah.
21 of the last 25 years, it has rained.
Yeah. And I guarantee you it won't, and it's a can't miss on this prediction.
And then let's argue.
Yeah.
And then the phone calls.
Yeah.
You don't know. What I do know is Hoblett's got great deals for you all over the place. For real, for real, for real. Not for all. For real. It's the Black Friday sales event. See Hobbit getting ready already for your Black Friday. Up to $10,000 off MSRP on new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew cabs with special 2.9% financing for 72 months. And thousands more in savings. And no payments for 90 days. You hear about all these interest rates going up? The interest rates are going up. I say like I'm not crying about it too. Not at Oblet. Not at Oblet. Exclusive special discount for Hoblet shoppers on Ram trucks. $1,000 for a business owner, a farmer, or a first responder. Tons of HDs on the way. So you can get your truck today instead of waiting until 2023. You know, if you're getting it for tax reasons especially. See Hoblet's true pricing at HobletDodge.com. The price you see is the price you pay. No hidden fees, no add-ons, no surprises. Go to HobletDodge.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. It's halfway through the season. Let's look at the surprises and disappointments in the NFL so far. We'll do that right after this.
Listen Wednesday at 8:27 to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross as we announce a new addition to the show.
Yeah, we're certainly thrilled with
rips the courts for the first 3 points of the ball game. Welcome to Sacramento.
Wednesday at 8:27.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Sacramento area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
When it's time to service your vehicle, experience matters. Trust the experts at Folsom Lake Honda. We understand how important it is to have a safe and reliable vehicle, and our highly trained technicians will get the job done right the first time. Check engine light on? We'll check it for free. Need an oil change? Our express service will have you in and out fast. Come in or schedule your service online today.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino, and the primetime football giveaway, it's back. They're giving away a total of $500 for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento, with plenty of well-lit parking and some of the best food in a friendly environment. For more information on tournaments and gaming, please log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. As always, 1-800-GAMBLER.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad that those arch supports are in my shoes. I have terrible foot issues that prevented me from really having a normal life with my kids. With the Good Feet arch supports, man, I'm always ready. My kids actually got to enjoy me in the yard more, racing each other, backpedaling, teaching them some things, being a dad. If I had known about the Good Feet arch support earlier, I would have more than one championship. I would have 2 championship rings.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Sore feet? Aching back? Even plantar fasciitis? Come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, and Modesto. Hey, movie fans, the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento is open with a refurbished lobby and now serving adult beverages. Opening Thursday, Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, the IMAX experience. The anticipated sequel is here. See Black Panther 2 on the largest screen in Sacramento at the Esquire IMAX Theater with select showings in IMAX 3D.
Do not call him General or King. They called him Kukul Khan, the Feather Serpent God.
Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, the IMAX experience opens Thursday. Get tickets and reserved seating for opening weekend at IMAX.com/Sacramento.
Servicing your vehicle has never been so easy at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Schedule your next service appointment anytime, anywhere at StocktonHonda.com. It only takes a minute to schedule, and our award-winning service team will have you back on the road in no time. Oil changes, tires, parts, and more.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
The flagship.
Ball game, Sacramento wins.
KHTK AM and HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140, the flagship station of your Sacramento Kings. Sactown Sports headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings return home to the Golden One Center tonight against Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Kings are coming off a 4-game road trip where the team went 2-2. Cleveland comes in sporting the second-best record in the Eastern Conference at 8-2. Coverage begins with game night at 5:30 on Sactown Sports. The Las Vegas Raiders have waived former first-round pick Jonathan Abram, the number 27 overall pick in the 2019 draft. Abram had been the Raiders' starting strong safety before losing his job in Week 8 to Duran Harmon. With Abrams' release, only 11 out of 23 players drafted by former GM Mike Mayock and head coach John Gruden remain with the Raiders. California voters overwhelmingly rejected 2 propositions yesterday that would have expanded sports betting in the Golden State, despite over $600 million being spent on the 2 propositions combined. Had the propositions passed, sports betting would have been legalized by allowing it at tribal casinos and horse tracks or through mobile and online wagering. Coming up on today's show, Kings color analyst Kayte Christensen joins us at 8 a.m. from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
Jay, hey, my headset's
Text or call the show at 916-339-1140. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey, just a warning. This isn't really breaking news, but I'm doing a bit. But give me the breaking news rejoinder, please, because this is actually quite entertaining, I think. Let's do a quick
when
election.
It breaks,
election
we
update.
have it first. Sactown Sports 1140. Breaking news.
Election update. What are you doing? The boss is listening. Go, what are you doing? Well, I want to go into the Florida Senate race where Marco Rubio won re-election pretty handily over Val Demings, 57.7 to 41.3. Some guy named Dennis came in third. Stephen Grant, who's an independent, came in fourth. And coming in fifth with 0.2 of the vote at 17,331 total votes. Tua Tagovailoa. He got enough votes to be on the list.
Wow.
Tua Tagovailoa got over 17,000
Isn't
votes.
he left?
Huh? Yeah. He's left. See?
People underestimating the Dolphin Party.
The Dolphin Party. I love it. 17,000 people voted Tua Tagovailoa for Senate.
How many did Finkel and Einhorn get?
Yeah. Don't know. It's 2. Is it one? Is it 2?
Finkel, Einhorn, Finkel.
Finkel. You know, that scene didn't hold up too well, did it? Welcome back in. Let's look at the NFL. Speaking of Tua, who that close to becoming a United States senator.
Yes, almost.
Senator Tagovailoa. I wonder if that would be the longest last name in senatorial history.
I'm going to go with no.
No? Okay. We'll get our crack research team on that. First half surprises, disappointments, and first half MVP I've written down here. It's a lot to talk about.
That is.
Let's start with let's go in order. Let's talk about surprises.
Okay.
Here's the thing. It's not like people are shocked that the Eagles are good. Like that, you could see that they could very well be good if this and this happen. So the question is it, oh my God, the Eagles are 8-0. That is like the biggest surprise. Or is it a New York team?
I was going to say New York football. I mean, lumping Buffalo in there, of course, they need to be lumped in. We thought they would be good. A lot of people have them winning the whole thing, but put them up there. But then it's the Jets and Giants to me. What they have done collectively, how they've done it, how they look. I don't know what the back half of the season will have, but a lot of times they're already done. They're eliminated by now.
I would give honorable mention, and you could very much make a case for this being number one, because I don't disagree with you. Seattle.
Yes.
In first place
Great
in the
call.
NFC West.
I like that call. It's a very good call.
After 9 weeks, they're in sole possession of first place after 9 weeks.
It kind of felt like week one was maybe their week. Like, oh, they beat Russ.
Right.
Like, that's the season highlight. That's what the fans wanted.
Yes.
Go ahead and win 3 games.
That's Bogey's game winner against the Lakers.
Yeah, it's like, cool. We did it. We don't like him anymore. No. He's there. He's going to have this great season in Denver, but we beat him when it mattered most. We don't need him.
No.
And then it's just gotten better.
So let me go the other way with you then. Okay, so we're pretty much on the same page there. Now, would you say those are bigger? You know, we're talking surprises. So Green Bay's 3-6. They've lost 5 in a row. Tampa Bay is 4-5. The defending champions are 3-5.
Yeah.
I don't know that those are bigger surprises per se. I mean, I don't know. At the beginning of the year, if you told me, hey, which is more likely? One of these two things is going to happen in week 9. Either the Seahawks will be in first at 6-3, or the Packers 3-6. I would have said, well, okay, if it's got to be one, I would guess the Packers. Well, the Seahawks aren't going to.
Right.
So I do think, though, that along with those New York teams, we're sitting here in week 9, Jason, and New York football. And by the way, when we say New York, we're talking Jets and Giants.
Right.
Obviously, we knew about the Bills, but combined, the Jets and Giants are 12-5.
Yeah, fantastic.
That's not a fluke anymore.
Right.
It's not a fluke.
Right.
And by the way, great job also by coach in New York's going to get a ton of credit with the Giants. Who was the other? Arthur, what's his face? With the Falcons, their coach. I was going to say Arthur Blank, but that's the
Arthur
owner.
Smith.
Arthur Smith. Thank you. There's a number of different coaches that you can look at. But I would also say Robert Saleh's kind of flying under the radar, former Niner coordinator, and he's just done a wonderful job with the culture in New York.
Yeah, both those guys, Saleh and Dable have done really well. When you brought up Green Bay, I feel like Green Bay to me is more of an isolating on Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
On the disappointment or on the surprise. Either way you look at it, same thing. Surprise and how poorly he's played. Surprise and disappointment how poorly he's played.
Yeah, for real. No, I've especially that last game against the Lions and those picks in the red zone, which were not all his fault, but were mostly his fault. All right, so there's your surprises. There's your disappointments. First half MVP.
Jalen Hurts.
It's not a bad
Maybe
one.
the stats aren't all as I mean, they're good. They're really good. The team's undefeated. I'm sure there's some other really good candidates.
I know this is like super boring of me. I know it's super boring of me, but it would be hard for me to not vote for Patrick Mahomes.
That's not boring. He's not boring.
He's leading the league in yards.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 21 touchdowns versus 6 interceptions. He's leading the league in yards and touchdowns.
Yeah.
And his team is
6-2.
Yeah.
And remember that, I guess that could be another surprise, I would say, just division wise. The West, I thought were going to be really good, especially the AFC West. The NFC West had 3 playoff teams a year ago, and you've got Seattle leading that division, the one that didn't make the playoffs. While the East, I thought, might struggle for both sides.
Yeah.
AFC East, everybody's over 500. And the NFC East, has an undefeated team. The Cowboys are really good. The Giants are a surprise. And, there's the Commanders still, if they're the worst at 4-5. I think the Eastern.
It's so weird because it's like, is it sustainable?
Yeah.
All right. So it's always going to be a quarterback. Let me ask you this. What happens if we get into MVP non-quarterback?
Man, I don't even know where to lean there.
That's where it gets tough because is there a guy on defense that's standing? Matthew Judon's having a great year, and sacks are the glory stat. He's having a wonderful year for New England. Justin Houston's having another great year for the Ravens. Nick Bosa's sitting there tied for second in a 3-way tie with 8.5 sacks. Michael Parsons isn't going away with 8. But then when you look at rushing, I mean, is anyone really standing out? Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Saquon Barkley,
Chubb's had a really good season, but like last year, Jonathan Taylor was doing so much damage that he was in the conversation all year long. It doesn't feel like there's a dominant running back there.
Tyreek Hill is leading the league in receiving yards at 1,104 already. 1,104. Jalen Waddle is 5th at 812. To have 2 receivers top 5, especially with those types of numbers. Hill's only got, and I say only has 3 touchdowns, which for the amount of yards he has and catches he has is a little interesting. But I don't know if I could give it to Hill, but I would say that receiving combo is, I mean, they're almost certainly by week 11 probably going to have 2,000-yard receivers with 6-7 games to go. That's ridiculous.
That is
absolutely insane.
But Mahomes is a good call. I mean, I'll say it quietly, but does Geno
get
at least some consideration? He wouldn't win it, but
I think Geno might be like the gets 2 third-place votes type of dude, but he's got to be the comeback player of the year.
I was just trying to look for other candidates. I think Mahomes, Hurts, Josh Allen, I guess up there.
Josh Allen, not Aaron Rodgers.
No.
You know who's not going to get any love at all, and I get it. I totally get it. But again, we're talking about MVP right now. His numbers don't fly off the page, but Kirk Cousins is doing a really
on the team, right?
Nice job in Minnesota.
Yeah, they just keep winning close games. I think they've won 6 in a row or all the close games that they've been in. Yeah, like that.
Yeah. Vikings have won. They've won 6 in a row, whereas the Packers have lost 5 in a row.
Yeah,
that's
what a swing there.
But really, other than that, nothing else crazy jumps out at all. I mean, Brady's still having statistically a decent year yardage wise, but his team's 4-5. So see you later. When it comes to Coach of the Year, we talked about this before. It's tough because instinctively I go, well, how can you not give it to Pete Carroll? But the only problem there is that Seattle, I think he is getting the most out of his players without a doubt. But you almost penalize him because there is a culture of winning that is set in stone in Seattle. So is what he's doing more impressive than what Brian Daboll is doing with the Giants, what Robert Saleh is doing with the Jets, what Arthur Smith is doing with the Falcons?
Yeah.
These are
Sirianni with the Eagles.
Sirianni with the Eagles. Thank you. These are teams that, especially the first 3, that had a culture of losing, of losing.
Sure.
I mean, these are imagine it. You know, these are like Sacramento Kings-esque cultures in the NFL, and now they're at the top of their games. Super competitive, which is what makes the NFL so amazing. Is year to year you can have that type of turnaround. If the playoffs started today, the Niners would be the 7th seed. They would be taking on the number 2 Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota.
I like that. I like their chances there.
I look at that. That would almost very much be like their matchup last year with the Cowboys. In the sense that, oh well, you know what, they're the lower seed. You feel like they're the better overall team.
Yeah, I mean, the way the playoff format is structured now is you want the 1, right? If you can get to 1, which the Niners, I don't think that'll happen for them. So now you look at the NFC and go, is there a place you think they can't go and win? And I would say no.
No,
I don't think. I think they go anywhere in the NFC and win.
Who's currently out that will be in the playoffs in the NFL? Should Dusty Baker come back? And sports betting question as well with last night's propositions going down in California. 3 for Madness is next.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports 1140. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people that play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf.
It's the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa.
Every week on Sactown Sports 1140. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility, and Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. And Safe Credit Union. Let us put you first.
Folks, there's been some fumbles on the way to the big game, but he's been getting some help to get it done tonight. Here's the throw. And he's off to the races. He might go all the way. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10, touchdown. He did it, folks. He did it.
Regain and optimize your sexual performance, drug-free and surgery-free. The Gainswave treatment will help you get that bedroom touchdown. See what Dr. Dan Botha and his team at Gainswave can do for you. Visit GainswaveCalgary.ca.
Ooh, there's nothing worse than being cold and uncomfortable in your own home. Make sure you and your family are able to enjoy the holidays this winter. At American Energy Heat and Air, we want to make sure your furnace is running safely and efficiently during these cold months. For only $49, take advantage of the 30-point tune-up today. Proudly servicing the community since 1981, American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Book your tune-up today for only $49. Call 916-520-9990 or visit them at AmericanEnergyAir.com.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Question 1.
All right. Lots of show coming for you. 8 o'clock. Kayte Christensen joins us for her weekly segment. Wine Wednesday at 8:13. What are we sad or angry about?
Yeah, let's whine about it.
Whine about it. At 8:27, the debut of our new weekly member of the program. Oh my goodness, I'm excited. I really am.
Me too.
A lot of times in radio, you'll like overplay it like, hey, it's a huge announcement. It's Fred Johnson with betonline.gov. And everyone's like, great, thanks. And I feel like you lose listeners long term because they don't trust you. Trust me. And Jason, who's more trustworthy even.
But don't trust me.
Never
will.
You're going to be very happy to hear from this person every week. That's all.
Ooh, can I give a spoiler? This person has a lot to say.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Couldn't have come at a better time. Jay Mars, question 1.
Pick a team that is currently out of the top 7 in the AFC and NFC that you would bet on to make the playoffs, but not in California.
Yeah, not
because,
legally.
Yeah. Props and stuff.
I honestly, I'm going to go with the incredible. This is what you shouldn't do in the NFL is try to go chalk, try to go with what should happen logically because it's not going to work. It's always weird. I'm going to make it really easy on both sides. I'm going to go with the Super Bowl from last year. Right now, both the Bengals and Rams are just out. And the Bengals are so weird, dude. Last week, they just throttled the Panthers. It was stupid. But then the week before, they're, I don't know who I am. They're way too talented. And I'd say the same thing for the Rams. And they don't have to play the Niners anymore, which means they'll probably win every game the rest of the year. There's just too much talent on both of those teams to me to miss the playoffs.
All right, I'm going to do a flyer then. I'm going to go opposite here. And the NFC one is a reach, but the reach has a reason behind it. Tampa is in right now as a 4 seed because they're leading the division at 4 and 5. I think they're going to make it.
Yeah.
But if someone could, it would be someone else in their division. And I'm not going to pick Atlanta. I'm going to pick the Saints.
Ooh.
Not a great team. But
You're saying they'll come marching in?
Yes. As a matter of fact. Who dat? At 3 and 6 or 3 and 6, they're not great.
They're not.
Neither are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And so just takes a couple more wins. Maybe 8 and 9 gets them in. Ugh.
You're calling the Saints to win the South.
Yes. Wow. And the other one, Patriots. They're right there. They're just on the outside. They're 5 and 4. Can they get ahead of the Dolphins or the Jets? Sure.
Now, are you setting up the drama that you're setting up on purpose, or is that just a factor of your picks?
No, there's no.
Because
what am I missing?
What you just said is that Tom Brady's going to miss the playoffs and Bill Belichick's going to make the playoffs. Oh my gosh! Yeah, I am
setting that up indirectly without knowing I did that. That's
I
fantastic.
don't believe him.
Yeah, you didn't see the look of surprise. You're like, Jason's going to play it up and be like, of
no,
course.
you saw the thought bubble.
Yeah, you're like,
Dave just, whoa, I did not know that.
So yeah,
yeah. The Bengals is a real. That one's. I think that happens, but I'll go Patriots.
Yeah. It's gonna be.
I was thinking about Cleveland, but I don't know if Watson. I don't feel like Brissett is the reason they're. So when Watson comes back,
there's gonna be an adjustment period.
Yeah.
What if they win the Super Bowl?
The
Cleveland?
Browns?
Like
the football
like Watson comes back and leads them to the Super Bowl.
Put some fake money on it now. That would win. That'd win. None of us said Raiders.
Number 2.
Question 2.
Yeah, I did notice neither of you said Raiders. Interesting.
Yeah.
Dusty Baker reportedly got a 1-year offer to come back and manage the Astros. If you were him, which neither of you are, would you ride off into the sunset or run it back?
Well, let's see. I'd offer them 2 of my fingers. One on each hand.
Wow.
Okay, first off.
What, to put the ring on?
Yeah. A 1-year deal? Really? I understand he's old.
Is it for all of the money?
I mean,
Powerball money?
You're offering a guy who just came in and won a championship, a 1-year deal.
And literally the most likable person in your organization.
Yeah, like he's the only reason anyone outside of Houston likes the Astros or at least can tolerate them without puking is Dusty Baker. And what would he be? Like the 22nd, 25th highest paid
That's
person?
where I'm at. If I'm Dusty, I'm like, yo, let's roll out the Brinks truck,
Yeah.
Mr. Crane.
For real. So first off, a 1-year deal, LOL. Secondly, nah, dude, if I'm Dusty Baker, I got my ring. I'm walking off into the sunset. I'm calling
fishing
my shot.
and I'm at every Kings game.
I'm fishing and I'm at every Kings game and I'm hanging with my grandkids and I'm just enjoying life. I mean, how old is
73, I think? 74?
Sounds about right. Yeah, he's 73. He'll be 74 in June. Like, come on, bro. I hope he lives to be 173, but come on.
The walking off into the sunset is it's the movie, right?
Yes.
That's the way it's written.
But
But
Tom Brady should have done with Tampa Bay.
yeah, the one part I can't get over though is, I mean, it's okay for Dusty to love to manage though.
It is.
What if he does? And
It
he's like,
is.
I'm okay with coaching and managing again. And hey, what if you don't make the playoffs? You good with? Like, I think you'd have to ask yourself that question because this is the peak.
Yes.
He was chasing this and he got it. So if he's comfortable by coming back, they should be good again. But let's say it's a terrible year. Things happen.
Right.
And they have the Giants here.
Yes.
From 107 to missing the postseason. If you can answer you're comfortable with that, then you love managing. then do it. Like if that's what you want. Like if it's not going to hurt you to go, well, if my final year or final years are missing the playoffs, it doesn't. I'm okay with that. Then,
I guess
then
it
come
gets
back and do it.
Also, really cool to go back to back.
True.
Yeah, but here's the human side. This is where because you guys know I'm a big fan of. Hey, listen, play as long as you want to play.
Right.
Here's the human side, though, dude. He is 73. Odds are he's got what plus or minus a decade left on this earth.
I'll give him 30 years.
Okay, I hope so. But you know what, dude? You got family, you got grandkids.
Yeah.
You're gone half the year, every year. Like
he must love it though.
I get. You know what? You know what else? I'll bet you loves him. His grandkids.
Yeah,
it'd be nice. I'm just saying, man. Like you get one trip on this rock. He's done everything you can in baseball. Enjoy your family, but. I get it too. Johnny Carson retired and was dead 4 years later. You know, some people
got dark.
Need to keep working.
No kidding.
Just
what
saying,
the
man.
hell, man?
Listen,
Dusty, keep managing.
Please, forever. Never stop.
Nobody loves Dusty more than me. But you see, how many times have you seen lifers in a job when they retire at like 70 or 80? Or Vince? How long was Vince Scully? 2 years?
No, Vin
was it longer?
Yeah,
but Vin was also in his 90s.
I get it. I'm just saying it keeps people going sometimes. You know,
so
is that what Tony La Russa doing?
You know what I just said in that segment? I was like, I think Dusty should spend more time with his grandkids.
Yeah.
But you know, when people retire, they
exactly. You're trying to kill Dusty Baker.
I'm trying to kill Dusty Baker. All right, Dusty, keep managing for everybody. Number 3.
What happened there?
Question 3.
We went on a journey.
Good God.
God, I can't believe you said Jay's the one who's always trying to kill me.
I know. Why are you taking my bit?
For
the record, I want Dusty to live forever.
I learned it from watching you.
Sports betting is legal in over 30 states, but not in California. Does that surprise you?
It does. It does.
I would have thought it'd been one of the first.
It's just so stupid. And you know what? The casinos and the tribal casinos and the whole they only have themselves to blame. Both failed miserably. There was so much garbage and
$600 million combined for both
nothing,
props.
For nothing.
600.
Nothing.
What was the disparity? I know it failed, but
it was like
is it
60,
landslide?
70%.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
a
so
landslide.
no close.
It
Okay.
was a landslide for both props. It was confusing.
Yeah, that I agree with.
Nobody knew which was which. You saw these ads that were like gambling can lead to bankruptcy and divorce.
Well, and they're going to take your money and spend it over here in this state.
Exactly.
I'm like, is it? Is that really what's going to happen?
Gambling is the worst thing that can happen. And if you gamble, everyone you love will die.
Yeah.
Brought to you by XYZ Casino.
Yeah.
Also,
and puppies get killed.
Right.
In light of all that.
Yeah.
1-800-GAMBLER.
Yeah, 1-800-GAMBLER. It's just dumb. Like, for real. Like, come on, man. People in, like, Iowa can bet on their phones.
Yeah.
Like, it's California, man. I thought we were supposed to be the progressive state. So can we progress to be able to bet on our phones? I really love it when the government gets in the habit of telling us, you know what? That's you can't be trusted with that.
But yet, how many people have voted on that but are in office pools, are in March Madness, Survivors, fantasy football?
Yeah. Meanwhile, it's okay to just roll into the AM PM and drop a hundo on the Powerball.
Yeah.
That was one in LA.
Right.
Hey, what if they had said that it was, what if all they said was that the Powerball was sold in Northern California yesterday, but they didn't have the city? And then I called in sick.
Oh, we had you as a Powerball winner yesterday when you weren't here.
Oh, you did?
That was one of our stories. But yeah, if actually, how weird would it be if it, like that, to your point, if it was announced that it was in Sacramento, not even the location yet.
Yeah.
Just, I don't like Dave, did you win? No. Did you win? Like people asking you if you won.
I will tell you right now. I'm going to talk to Shelby here in a second. I will tell you right now, because I did think heavily about this in the shower the other day. I just dreamed about the Powerball. I know it sounds weird. I wouldn't tell anyone until I had everything set.
Yeah.
Like I would make sure that everything was taken care of. Because dude, you don't know, somebody could rush your house.
Absolutely.
And then I was thinking, what do you do with the Powerball ticket between there? We've talked about this before. I'm hiring like a 20-person security detail.
Yeah.
And the first thing I'm doing if I win the Powerball, this is after I cash the ticket. The first thing I'm doing is I'm calling my guy Shelby. And I'm saying, hey Shelby, I'd like to buy 1,000 houses. Can you help me out? And I know he would. Good morning, Shelby. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing this morning?
You did not win the Powerball, did you?
Unfortunately not.
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell anybody either, though.
Right? Like, at some point, people will figure it out, though, right? But you're not going to tell them right away.
No chance.
Over, under, okay, how many within a month of you winning the Powerball, give me the over, under on the amount of friends and family that call you and somehow try to slyly sneak in, hey, dude, can I have some money?
Well, that already happens to me, so.
Yeah, dude. So listen, I was talking earlier about how I'm seeing from the other end on my mother-in-law is doing something real estatey, and they're the other end, the sellers are dealing with somebody that's not you, and just to see how disorganized and ridiculous they are really helps not take for granted you and Pete and everybody over at United Wholesale Lending. And I know we've been really talking about this home equity builder. 10%. You got to meet some requirements, of course, but they're so basic. And you get 10%, and that thing goes away after 5 years. That's amazing.
It is, and right now is the perfect time for you to go out there and negotiate yourself a below market deal. So find a house that maybe is listed for $500,000. Get them to accept your offer at $400,000. That is a possibility.
Wow.
And then you can use the equity builder program. They'll give you another $40,000 on top of that because they give you 10% down for free. Use that towards your closing costs. And then what you can do is you can take that $100,000 that you're getting off the purchase price, and you can get the seller to give you that as a credit, and you can use that to rehab the house. And then you build in more sweat equity. So it's all how you choose to play the game. But right now the opportunity is getting a large seller credit from a seller that has to sell their house, and using the equity builder program, take the government money. If we learned anything in the past, it's the government's giving out money, take it.
And in the example you mentioned, if you're talking them down from 5 to 4, and then you get that $40K mortgage that goes away. So you're walking into a house day one with $140,000 in equity. It's pretty awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you know what? And that's
There's opportunity out there. You just got to find it and make smart choice.
For real, dude. Refinancewithshelby.com. Seriously, he can absolutely guide you through. And maybe you're not a first-time home buyer. There's so many other programs that Shelby and his friends can help you with to capitalize. And there's a lot of opportunities in this market right now. Don't miss it. Refinancewithshelby.com. That's refinancewithshelby.com. NMLS number 279051. BRA number 01864354. Hey, the last 2-minute report's in for the NBA. Let's replay that game, right? Kings get screwed again. We'll talk about it after this.
You want the inside scoop on the Sacramento Kings?
Cattles and Rami are giving it to you.
Tune in every Thursday at 4 p.m. for an exclusive interview with a member of the Kings coaching staff.
You know, when you're talking about Foxy, we're going to utilize his speed. We're going to make sure the floor is spaced so he can get to the paint.
Keegan has a potential, and we have no doubt in our minds that he'll be a huge part of our winning in the future.
From your local sports leader.
Sactown Sports.
Capital City Honda has a great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Right now, get 0.99% APR for 24 to 36 months on certified Civics and CRVs. Plus, new Hondas arriving daily with no dealer markup. We're the Tire Center, your place to buy your next set of tires. From 24-month tire road hazard coverage to 15-mile complimentary towing at Cap City Freeway by the Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. CapCityHonda.com. Lease loyalty for current owners of any 2012 or newer Honda goes toward cap cost or down payment assistance. With approved credit, $42.94 for $1,000 finance. Down payment varies based on credit rating plus TTNL. See dealer for details.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is, live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings return home to the Golden One Center tonight against Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Kings are coming off a 4-game road trip where the team went 2-2. Cleveland comes in sporting the second-best record in the Eastern Conference at 8-2. Coverage begins with game night at 5:30 on Sactown Sports. The Las Vegas Raiders have waived former first-round pick Jonathan Abram, the number 27 overall pick in the 2019 draft. Abram had been the Raiders' starting strong safety before losing his job in Week 8 to Durant Harmon. With Abrams' release, only 11 out of 23 players drafted by former GM Mike Mayock and head coach John Gruden remain with the Raiders. California voters overwhelmingly rejected 2 propositions yesterday that would have expanded sports betting in the Golden State, despite over $600 million being spent on the 2 propositions combined. Had the propositions passed, sports betting would have been legalized by allowing it at tribal casinos and horse tracks or through mobile and online wagering. Coming up on today's show, Kings color analyst Kayte Christensen joins us at 8 a.m. from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Stimulating conversation about kitchen gadgets and baseball cards.
I think that's really crazy interesting.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
So let's go back to the Kings-Warriors game. I know. Boy, it was neat because the Kings played well enough. Definitely some issues, but well enough.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, Kevin Huerter goes up for what would be a game-tying 3-pointer, and woof.
Inbounds pass, the ball fake, gives to Huerter, rocks, fires. It's going to be short a foot. He claims he was fouled. Pat Frayer shaking his head says no, and once again, a whistle is swallowed at the end, and Huerter cannot believe that this game is over.
Such a good description. Whistle is swallowed. The shot was a foot short. Okay. That would have been a really difficult 3. Let's say Clay's nowhere near him.
Right.
It's a prayer, right? But Kevin Huerter can make that?
Yes.
He's not shooting an air ball a foot short. Something happened. And now it's confirmed.
And that something happened. Well, wait, maybe they blocked the shot.
Yeah.
Great defense, Clay. No.
Pick your foul.
I didn't get a chance to react to this yesterday. I did something terrible, a bad decision that night. I took a slow-mo video off of my TV and I tweeted it, and oh boy, did it blow up. Oh yeah, a viral tweet. No, because what I saw was really honestly, and using sports as a microcosm, like so much of what's wrong with society. Like people are just they are going to convince themselves to believe you literally could have it right in front of their face. The amount of Warrior fans and then also other
that claim it wasn't a foul,
that claim it wasn't, he didn't foul me, high-fived him. Or the most popular one, that's what happened to Steph against Jimmy Butler, and they didn't call that either. Probably third place is Warrior fan. Dude, the Warriors are getting screwed all game. Steph was getting so screwed he got the technical foul, by the way, on a shot where he initiated the contact.
Yeah.
We don't even talk about the play where he kicked his foot out. They replayed it, realized it wasn't a foul, but they counted the 3.
Yeah.
The shot clock violation by them. By the way, there were 2 missed calls in the last 2 minutes that favored the Warriors, not just that one. It was
I think
Steph travel.
The traveling really could have had a huge impact, because I think that was with what I put down there, 18 seconds left, 11 seconds, something like that. That was a 1-point game. Then that leaves the Kings all sorts of options. Doesn't mean they win. Much like this doesn't mean the Kings win. But I don't know. I personally think Huerter makes the 3 free throws.
I agree.
He might have missed. That's my guess. I'm guessing on that. Pretty good odds. I mean, if it was Steph, I think he makes all 3. He could have missed one. It goes to the end, Dave. You just want it to be right. And it's hard when there are mistakes made. Granted, these guys aren't going to be perfect, but it happened twice to the Kings. Not like it's in the same season, in the same week.
Right.
Or the same road trip.
Yep.
And it's the final play. And that's what, when you were here yesterday, Jay and I brought this up. Like, there's so much review. There's so many different things. Almost like the last play of a game. Can that just be automatically looked at? Now,
Sure.
I know it would have been had Huerter made it, and okay, we got to look and see if he made it by the clock and all that. But, Huerter was so animated. Mike Brown was so animated. Hey, you know what? Let's go take a look. We've got the guys in Secaucus. They're watching it. Let's get it right.
And there's at least one referee standing right there.
Yeah.
Watching the whole thing.
Yeah. And like you joked about it, they're not going to replay it. Sorry, Kings. Yes, you were correct, Mike Brown, and your in your frustration. And Kevin Huerter, you were correct. Kings, you still lose.
Has Kevin said anything, by the way? I know we've heard from Mike Brown. I don't know that I've heard from Kevin.
No, and then also maybe you can help us with this because I don't think Mike Brown was fine, correct, last week?
I don't think he was. Actually, I haven't heard about it.
Yeah, and partly it's like, hey, you were right. He wasn't yelling and screaming and going nuts. He was questioning officiating. And then he went again. I mean, to pull that card twice in a few days.
He got screwed twice in a few days.
Yeah, and you would think, okay, the first time, all right, basically this is calling you out, the official. So not necessarily help us out, but don't let it happen again. And it happened again.
I'm going to try to put this is something I never do. I'm going to try to put my positive hat on.
Okay.
I'm going to try to paint a picture of
league-wide or Kings-wide?
Kings-wide.
Okay.
So it's 2 losses. Let's remember, by the way, let's not get, unlike the silly, crazy, fanatic warrior ding-dongs in my mentions, we try to at least be realistic. Maybe they get both calls and they go 0-2. Remember,
absolutely,
these weren't to win the game. This was overtime in Miami and overtime in Golden State. There's no guarantee. As a matter of fact, they would be favored to lose both games. So, okay. Number one, I think it's bonding the team together a little bit. There is no greater culture builder or team bonder in sports than us against the world.
Yeah.
There's none.
The fans have felt that.
Yes.
That's fine. If the players feel it, that can be big.
It is us against the world. We've got to play 5-on-6. We got to play against 5 basketball players and a zebra or 3, so 5 on 8. There's no greater unifier to a sports team historically than us against the world. That's number one. Number two, I've seen this getting some pretty heavy national play, mainly because it's the second time in a week. I've seen it on Sports Center.
I agree.
I've seen it so many places. In addition to bonding the team, maybe long-term, especially with 2 games that there was no guarantee of winning, even if the game went your way, maybe this is part of the growing and growth process that begins to, because I think Mike Brown and anyone talking about this, I think they've been excellent where like, I'd want to come out and be like, I think honestly, the refs were pulling for those propositions to pass in California. They're on the take. They're terrible. And every single time they come to your town, you should do the refs you suck chant.
Yeah.
They've been very classy about it. And you know what? I think in the end, I hope that referees, they are humans, and maybe they look at what's going on. I'm sure they've looked because they've been forced to, and they go, you know what? We need to stop screwing the Kings. And maybe the Kings start getting some calls on their side now.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the 2 times that Brown went in on these post games. I want to say the first one, Dave, is when he was the Heat was. He said something like, "I don't know if it's because it says Sacramento, or like basically inferring, we're getting the collective we, the Sacramento's getting an unfair whistle." And then this last time, I think he said, it's got to be difficult to be a Kings fan or something along those lines.
Right.
So it's kind of that, just to back up your point, the us against the world thought. And again, whether that's factual or not, that can truly, like you said, be a bonding thing. I've always liked like a good team that's been perceived as an underdog that's like the most dangerous team. Like when you're really good and everybody's going after you.
Yes.
Okay. But when people still think you're good, but this is the little team that, that's a kind of the sweet spot.
By the way, you're welcome, Kings Marketing, because us against the world t-shirts would whatever. I don't even know what this year's slogan is. Here we something probably feel the whatever, but
feel the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's what I think us against the world shirts would do quite well in this.
I got an even better one. Just take the whole Sacramento versus everybody already, but just do everybody in black and white stripes.
I got one of those shirts.
I know I'm brilliant.
You are. You know what? I do actually apologize, Kings. I apologize on Jay Mars' behalf. We'll take a break when we come back. What are we doing when we come back?
Kings and Cavs.
Hey, let's preview tonight's game. We got Kayte at 8. We've got Wine Wednesday. God, I'm so afraid I'm going to screw it up too. And we have the newest weekly member of our program, the announcement and the member at 8:27. What? We're right back after this.
Log on to Sactown Sports' YouTube channel following every Kings game this season for the Sactown Sports Kings Recap. Carmichael Dave, Nick Cattles, Rami Makloff, and Chris Watkins interact with you directly after every Kings game
all season long.
Subscribe now and get notifications by searching for Sactown Sports on YouTube.
Kings get the victory, and the celebration continues
on Sactown Sports,
the flagship station of your Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, we're a sports family. 2-a-day practices with muddy gear, driving in all kinds of weather to get to away games, and of course, the gravel parking lots. Oh, and did we mention kids? So you can imagine what our car looks like, except it doesn't. We're big fans of defying expectations. So we go to Quick Quack and shine like all our kids' trophies. Go for the win yourself and head to Quick Quack for a shine that lets you defy expectations.
It's hard to find a better selection of 4x4s in stock and ready to drive home today than you'll find at M&S Auto on El Camino right off the Cap City Freeway. New truck prices keep rising. M&S invites you to tour their selection of super clean 4x4s and trucks and save thousands. Tacomas, F-150s, Jeeps, Rams, Silverados. Great deals today on hundreds of 4x4s, SUVs, and muscle cars. First-time buyers are welcome. M&S Auto Sales, El Camino, just off the Cap City Freeway. MSAutogroup.com.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
ATM Mortgage. Hi, this is Jeff Tarbell, and for 30 years, I've been helping Northern California homeowners and home buyers achieve their goals. When everyone else has gone silent, we're still here to help. You can reach us today, 916-338-9400, 338-9400, or online at atmmortgage.net. ATM Mortgage. License under California CFL and MLS 223-4889.
I'm in the great outdoors doing a little Dodge watching with Vince Bloom, the big guy at Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge. Would you look at that? You know, those are some pretty high-powered binoculars you got there, Vince.
Yeah, I use them to spot all the Lasher license plates out there.
Well, there's bound to be a lot because, you are the big guy after all, and the big guy's known for making great deals on new Ram 1500 Bighorns and Longhorns, Tradesmen and Laramies, crew cabs and quad cabs, 4x4s and 4x2s.
I know. Hold on. I see another one.
Another what? Looked like it might have been a new Dodge Challenger.
I think so.
Or a new Dodge Charger. Elk Grove Dodge sells a ton of those, And new Durangos, Chrysler Pacificas, Jeep Cherokees, and the new Grand Cherokee, Jeep Compass, Gladiators, and Wranglers, and the all-new Wagoneer. I've heard Elk Grove Dodge has great deals on those, too.
Oh, he's taken off.
Oh, I'm sorry. You lose him?
Oh, no. Just another happy customer migrating back to Elk Grove Dodge.
No surprise there, because for over 40 years, the name Lasher means a great deal.
Only at Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge and the Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovedodge.com.
When the world's best players get fitted for new golf clubs, they want to see their ball flight outdoors. Why should you settle for any less? The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is the area's unquestioned leader in delivering a new age of golf club fitting to Northern California. With 14 trained, skilled professionals to show you how to hit the ball farther and straighter, satisfied customers have increased their yardage, improved their games, and gained confidence. Call 916-808-2531 to get started. That's 808-2531 for longer, straighter drives.
The number one priority for the good folks over at American Energy is making sure you and your family are comfortable in your home for the holidays. And that's why they're giving away a free whole home HVAC system to one lucky family in the greater Sacramento area. If you know a family in need of being comfortable this winter, enter for your chance to win the American Energy Comfort Giveaway by going to the AE Way. That's the AE Way. .com today. You could win a free whole home HVAC system. For the official contest rules, go to the AEway.com.
Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Text or call the show at 916-339-1140 on Sactown Sports 1140.
Kings versus Cavs tonight right here on Sactown Sports. Pre-game at 6:30. Tip-off at 7. Cavs are really good this year.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
far.
you agree with what I said earlier? Is this the toughest team they've played, you think?
I think so.
I think it's them or Memphis so far. The way they're playing. Like, the Warriors aren't playing great. They're not.
I think this is a worse matchup for them than Memphis. As currently constructed. Jaren Jackson back, okay. Not that Steven Adams didn't do things.
I think it's going to be really difficult tonight.
But this Cavs team, I think right now is better than the Blazers. They lost to the Clippers last night, but barely.
Yeah.
Or a couple nights ago.
I think when the Clippers are all loaded, they're going to be a real problem, but they're not, and we don't know about Kawhi's return.
Yeah. But they're better than, right now at least, than the Warriors, obviously Magic, Heat, Hornets. This is a toughest matchup for Sacramento. The interior in Cleveland is just great. I know that sounds silly, but I mean, for real, Evan Mobley is healthy, and when he is healthy, he is fantastic. He is everything you'd want in a defensive anchor down low, and he and Jarrett Allen combined, that's just tough. Karis LeVert's an underrated player.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, again, he's healthy.
Yeah.
Karis LeVert's problem is he can't stay healthy.
Right.
When he's healthy, he's a good player, but he's probably the 5th ranked starter on that club, because you have what many people are arguing is now the best backcourt in the NBA, and if not, certainly top 2, top 3 with Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. And Mitchell seems to be fitting in just fine. 31.2 points, 4 boards, 6 assists. Always fun to watch Fox and Mitchell match up against each other. But we haven't even mentioned Isaac Okoro. We haven't mentioned Kevin Love. We haven't mentioned Robin Lopez. We haven't mentioned Cedi Osman. This is the Cleveland Cavaliers, Jason, are a legit championship contender. And that's something that I think people need to start wrapping their heads around.
And it's the first time for them since a non-LeBron led team, right? I mean, they've really struggled without him, understandably, but now they've regrouped. They've done it pretty quickly, made good trades. This was a bold one. Remember, nobody saw it. Mitchell was going to the Knicks. Mitchell was going to the Heat. Mitchell was going somewhere else. And then when that was announced, and here he is 4th in the league in scoring, they're the only team in the league that's in the top 7 offense and defense. They're number 3 offensively. Wow. So they've got balance. They're complete. And I think of other teams first, probably in the East, and maybe I shouldn't. I mean, I think of Boston. I think of Milwaukee, even Philadelphia, Miami. But Cleveland, they're doing some really good things so far.
Milwaukee's 9-1. Boston is 7-3, the defending Eastern Conference champions. I still would put them 1 and 2, but I put the Cavs 3rd. And I'm giving a lot of credit to Boston from last year, but just I would say in a vacuum, this year only the Cavs 10 games, the Celtics 10 games, even though the Celtics are only 1 game behind the Cavs record wise, I think the Cavs have been more impressive. They don't have any they don't have holes.
So above, obviously, Miami, Philly, Atlanta, those kind of teams.
I do. I absolutely
Brooklyn,
do.
obviously,
Brooklyn, obviously.
I don't know what they are.
They just, if they, I mean, honestly, and they're making 13 threes a game. They're shooting 33.5%. I'm really trying to find a hole here, because that's not even bad. They're just, and not trying to do the thing where we're artificially lowering expectations. I'm saying your expectations, sure, root, hope, win, but you got a couple of things going against you tonight. Number one, you have the first game back home after a long road trip. Those are all notoriously, you're going to see a lot of balls bouncing off the front of the rim. Notoriously, especially this team, they're going to start out slow. And we looked this morning, Jason, at the line on the game. We looked this morning, it was 4 points. Let me see if it's up to 4.5 now. I think that thing could actually be around 5.5, 6 before it's all said and done. 4 is, anyways, point being, if the Kings pull this out and there's a reason you play the games, it will, I think, absolutely be their best win of the season.
Yeah, and it would be still attached to a stretch where, let's remember, it was a 2-2 road trip. I think everybody would have signed up for that beforehand, and you think about the 2 losses. it's been last 2-minute report frustration, but losing to the Heat, losing to the Warriors, a thrilling win against Orlando, a nice win against Charlotte.
Yeah.
It does feel like they're playing better. They keep maintaining, and they're saying this, we're close. Well, that's great. You got to start getting W's. This would be a fantastic win if they could get this tonight.
It's not just that they've been winning either, Jason. I mean, they beat the Celtics by 1 point.
They beat them twice already, I think.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Excuse me. They beat them in Boston by 9 and then beat them at home by 1. They beat the Lakers by 14. They beat the Pistons by 24. They beat the Knicks by 13. They beat the Magic by 11. They beat the Wizards by 10. They beat the Bulls in Chicago by 36.
Wow.
32. They're not just winning, but they're winning fairly comfortably. So then when I see a Vegas line that says Kings 4.5, or Cavs 4.5, I go, okay. I mean, they're really giving a lot of credit to Sacramento that I don't think Sacramento has yet earned, or they're disrespecting the Cleveland Cavaliers. But lines aside, upsets happen. I just would not. This is not a game I would expect. Jared Allen fourth in rebounding, 12.2 per game, down low. Jared Allen by himself would give DeMontis Sabonis fits.
Yeah, this goes without saying, the way the Kings have been playing Sabonis at the 5, which is a little undersized, and then playing smaller guys around him too, whether it's been Lyles or Metu at the 5 at times, seemingly. Sabonis has to stay out of foul trouble.
Yes.
I mean, just has to. Right. And then Fox has to be exceptional and, hit a bunch of threes tonight, limit mistakes, make your free throws, and hope that home crowd rallies you home.
Fox, let's just put Fox and Mitchell aside as the marquee guards here. Just looking across the board, Huerter and, God bless Kevin Huerter, but Huerter and Darius Garland.
Right. That's a problem. Barnes and Okoro.
Okay, so Barnes and Okoro, Barnes and LeVert, fine. Right. But then let's even go Sabonis and Allen. And Allen's a handful by himself. You're going to have Keegan Murray checking Evan Mobley, or vice versa, Keegan Murray checking Jared Allen. I think Keegan Murray is going to have a lot of issues tonight. I think you're going to see a lot of minutes in there from Trey Lyles. Malik Monk is either questionable or Malik Monk's a little banged up. He's on the injury list so far. We don't know if he's going to play tonight. Again, this might be a night where you got to bring Rashawn Holmes out of mothballs. You got to dust off Rashawn and throw him in there and tell him to get that butt into somebody's thighs and make some moves.
Yeah.
Because they need some beef down low.
Yeah.
They don't have it. So.
Well, you want to do a little 3 in the key for tonight?
I do want to do 3 in the key. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do. And yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ready. Here we go.
Sorry, I'm thinking we should have a bed. I should have had a bed ready. Sorry. Go ahead.
Here we go. 3 in the key for me, you, and Jay.
Me?
Yeah.
I get to play?
You get to play.
Well, in honor of that, David, since you're never prepared.
I know.
I am.
Wow.
Yes.
Look at you. You're like a Boy Scout, but for radio.
Here's our first topic at 3 in the key for tonight. Dave, you lead us off. De'Aaron Fox, points, rebounds, assists. Won them all.
De'Aaron Fox, I'm going to go with 30 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds.
34 and 4. I'm going 26, 4, and 8.
Wow. 8 rebounds?
No, 8 assists.
Okay.
J. Mars?
I'm going to go 29 points, 6 boards, 9 assists.
Okay.
Good night for De'Aaron.
Wow, really good night for De'Aaron.
All right, next up, I'll be first on this one. Malik Monk and Terrence Davis combined made 3-pointers. So our bench shooters for the Kings, how many made threes?
Malik Monk, Terrence Davis, and who?
Those 2.
Okay, just those 2?
Just those 2 combined made 3-pointers. I'm going with 5. Jay?
6.
Dave?
I'm going to take a chance here and say that Malik Monk is either hurt or doesn't play. I'm going to go 2.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting play there. And Jay, you lead us off with the last one on 3 in the key. What will be the Kings' largest lead?
7.
Dave?
2.
2's your number, huh?
It'll be 3 to 1.
3 to 1. I'm putting that note down.
Be
a made 3 by
made 3 by Huerter
and
after
a made free throw by Mobley.
Yep.
Kings lead 3-1. I'm going to go 4.
As we go to break, Katie's coming on. By the way, did you guys go over 3 of the key from the Warriors?
We did.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Do we still have that around? Not now, but do you have that?
No, he won all 3.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Every time.
He did.
Wow.
Should be called Jay in the Key.
Yes, we should rename it Jay in the Key. That's an excellent idea. While we ponder that and get some imaging together, we'll take a break. When we come back, Kayte Christensen next.
Your home for the most comprehensive 49ers coverage.
Debo, Bosa, to our very own Armstead.
The 49ers Authority, Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Sacramento area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Capital City Honda has a great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Right now, get 0.99% APR for 24 to 36 months on certified Civics and CRVs. Plus, new Hondas arriving daily with no dealer markup. We're the Tire Center, your place to buy your next set of tires. From 24-month tire road hazard coverage to 15-mile complimentary towing at Cap City Freeway by the Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. CapCityHonda.com. Lease loyalty for current owners of any 2012 or newer Honda goes toward cap cost or down payment assistance. With approved credit, $42.94 for 1,000 finance. Down payment varies based on credit rating plus TTNL. See dealer for details.
Folks, there's been some fumbles on the way to the big game, but he's been getting some help to get it done tonight. Here's the throw. And he's off to the races. He might go all the way. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10, touchdown. He did it, folks. He did it.
Regain and optimize your sexual performance, drug-free and surgery-free. The Gainswave treatment will help you get that bedroom touchdown. See what Dr. Dan Botha and his team at Gainswave can do for you. Visit GainswaveCalgary.ca.
It's Carmichael Dave from my good friend Shelby and everybody over at RefinanceWithShelby.com. Home equity is the best way for you to build up and pass on wealth. The Equity Builder program happening right now gives first-time home buyers a head start on this with immediate equity in the home via a loan of up to 10% of the purchase price. Now, here's the deal. The loan is completely forgiven if you live in the house as your primary residence for 5 years. Think about that. A $450,000 home. You make about $80,000. You get $45,000 down as part of the Equity Builder program, and you live in the home for 5 years, boom, the loan is gone. You got to be a first-time home buyer. You got to occupy the property as your primary residence. That's about it. Couple of other things, and you're good to go. That's it. Go to RefinanceWithShelby.com. It's a no-brainer. It's the best way to get into this market. RefinanceWithShelby.com. NMLS number 279051, BRE number 01864354.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. See better and stay safe on the road with our visibility event. Right now, you can earn up to $20 in bonus rewards when you buy a pair of Rain-X Quantum Wiper Blades and Sylvania Silver Star Ultra headlights. Take advantage of the rewards from October 31st until November 13th, in-store or on AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply. Offer available to AutoZone Rewards members.
Buying a new Acura is an easy decision, and Acura of Stockton makes buying easy. Come and see us today or shop online. If we don't have it, you can pre-select your favorite Acura and pick it up when it arrives. No contracts or deposits required. It's that easy. Plus, we'll pay top dollar for your trade whether you buy from us or not. Don't settle for less than the quality of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or online at AcuraofStockton.com.
The flagship.
Ball game, Sacramento wins.
KHTK AM and HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140. The flagship station of your Sacramento Kings. Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings return home to the Golden One Center tonight against Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Kings are coming off a 4-game road trip where the team went 2-2. Cleveland comes in sporting the second best record in the Eastern Conference at 8-2. Coverage begins with game night at 5:30 on Sactown Sports. The Las Vegas Raiders have waived former first-round pick Jonathan Abram, the number 27 overall pick in the 2019 draft. Abram had been the Raiders' starting strong safety before losing his job in Week 8 to Durant Harmon. With Abram's release, only 11 out of 23 players drafted by former GM Mike Mayock and head coach John Gruden remain with the Raiders. California voters overwhelmingly rejected 2 propositions yesterday that would have expanded sports betting in the Golden State, despite over $600 million being spent on the 2 propositions combined. Had the propositions passed, sports betting would have been legalized by allowing it at tribal casinos and horse tracks or through mobile and online wagering. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
Jay, hey, my headset's
Text or call the show at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back. 27 minutes from now, the newest member of our lineup is going to join us, and I am palm sweaty, knees weak, mom spaghetti. I'm very excited. Jason, before we get to Kayte, I had this thought the other day, and I'm thinking about it. You and I have talked before. I think we agree that the Kings have an issue with their bigs.
Yeah.
And ultimately, they need somebody that not only is big, but could play the 5, the 4, whatever, that can stretch. It wouldn't be bad, too, if they added a little toughness to this team, too.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think.
Do you have somebody in mind?
If there's anyone out there that would fit that bill. Maybe somebody that's – maybe somebody that's – is there a free agent, maybe? Somebody that could
I know where you're going.
Play some minutes off the bench, stretch the floor, can hit threes, pull down some boards, add a little toughness to this team.
Dirk retired a few seasons
ago. Dang it. I thought Dirk was still playing. Oh, well. Our next guest is something going on with her, right?
Yeah. All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Yo! The analyst for the Sacramento Kings, my former best friend, and somebody who I get to talk to her once a week on this show, so it's neat. The one, the only Kayte Christensen. Good morning, Kayte.
Good morning, David. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning. How'd you feel about that label, former
You know
best
what?
friend?
It's just Dave goes through these phases where he's like plays the super needy friend.
Just saying.
And that's just what he's doing right now.
Been back from the road for 2 days. I haven't heard.
Yeah, I'm so used to it. Yeah, maybe it's because I was gone for like 8 days and I've got 2 kids and had a bunch of bags to unpack and like a bunch of Halloween to put away. Like maybe I have like adult responsibilities.
You know what? I have 2 kids and 2 dogs and a wife and a dog, and a mother-in-law.
Your wife does everything.
Actually, a great point. What do you think, Kayte? Would DeMarcus Cousins fit in on this team? They need a stretch.
Is that what you guys are talking about?
That's what I was. Jason's innocent.
I guess, theoretically, yes. Like if you're just looking at things on paper, because, obviously I think, I don't know that I would term DeMarcus like a rim protector per se.
Sure, I agree. I agree.
And I think that that's kind of the one thing that I question because they do need, I feel like, a kind of a defensive-oriented rim protector that can stretch the floor. I think that is something that would help in terms of filling out the roster that has size and kind of take some of the pressure off of Domas because, quite honestly, like people have talked a lot about his fouling problems and whatnot. The Kings are asking Domas to do a lot on both ends of the floor. And I think that he has handled it extremely well considering how much they're putting on his plate. And yes, there has been foul trouble and yes, there have been things like that. But I quite honestly think that, adding somebody that kind of fits the bill of what I just said would really make a difference. But, that I think still we're early in the season and we're finally starting to get a fairly decent grasp on like personnel and needs and all of that. And that's what you expect when you're adding pieces. So we'll see what Monty McNair does. But I mean, my question with DeMarcus Cousins, to be honest, is like, when DeMarcus was here, he was the franchise player.
Yeah.
Would DeMarcus be able to come in from the perspective of he's coming in as a role player off the bench?
I've heard at this point, I've heard at this point two things. There's rumors that he's at 265, which, if you know what his weight was before, is insanely sculpted, and would be open to a non-guaranteed. He just wants to get back in the league. I say take a flyer.
And that's another thing. Like, he absolutely, and this is where, you know, professional sports kind of humbles you. He went through some injuries at really critical times in his career where, you know, if you think, like, had he stayed with the Kings and that injury never happened, he would have, you know, backed the brink truck up. You know what I mean? Like, and now he's fighting to get in the league to remain in and get a foothold again because injuries kind of derailed it. So yeah, it does. It can humble you.
Kayte, another thing Dave and I were talking about is the frustrations with the last 2-minute report. We know what happened. We know what the league has come out and said. Do you think there's any chance, though, Kayte, that can kind of be amongst the team and Coach Brown kind of a rallying cry of the, you know, kind of us against the world kind of mentality?
I do. And I think that the way that Coach Brown has handled the media in those situations is incredibly brilliant in terms of, I think it's very intentional. I think that this is something that a coach of his caliber knows that he needs to do to let his locker room know that he supports you regardless if there's a fine involved or not. But that he's going to be the voice of the team, and players aren't going to feel the need to defend it, to you know, speak up and say things because their coach is kind of leading that charge. The frustration with me with the last 2-minute report is like, we all saw it. We all see these things happen. Like, the league admitting it and being kind of, you know, transparent about it. I like it, and I hate it at the same time because it doesn't matter for the team that got kind of screwed over. But it does matter in the terms of, okay, these officials are graded. And so it's like, you know, he gets an F for that game in my mind. And that impacts things down the road. They won't be doing playoff games. They won't, like that. All of those things are cumulative. And so it matters in that sense. So I can see the value in it from that point of view. But when you're the team that 2 times on a road trip gets screwed on a last second call that could have completely changed the course of the game. The Kings went 2-2 on this road trip. There was 2 calls away from the potential, a very high potential of going 4-0.
Kayte Christensen joining us. Oh, sorry. That was, you gave me a pregnant pause. Jeez. Sorry to interrupt you. Kayte.
Well, because that was me filtering myself and not saying a bad word.
Hey, seriously, how close did you come to swearing on the broadcast?
On the broadcast?
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty good.
I know you are.
At stepping out of that. I think having kids helps a lot with that too.
You know, when you look at that breakdown, so Jason and I were talking about it earlier, and you made the point, just because even if they'd gotten both calls in Miami and Golden State, that just means you go to overtime, and that's if Huerter makes all 3. So let's call it a split. Let's say they have a 3-1 road trip. Jason talked about the bonding within the team, and we talked about how there's no better bonder amongst athletes than the us against the world mentality. But also, Kayte, maybe in the long run, if we're trying to put a really positive spin on this, not only do you get some extra bonding, but I feel like Mike Brown and the rest of the team have been very classy in how they've dealt with this towards the refs. Maybe it starts to change the narrative and refs begin to see that the Kings have been getting disrespected and don't deserve it.
Yeah, so it's interesting that you say it, Dave, because you sent out the gif of DeMarcus, or not even the gif, you sent out the interview part of it.
It's getting ridiculous, man. I mean, it is ridiculous.
Ridiculous, yeah.
And you tried to not laugh, by the way.
Yeah, the way that, no, I was certainly not close to laughing.
Oh, I thought when he started, I thought you like turned away, and I thought I saw you trying to like, because, you know, he can. Okay.
Well, usually they go from a 2-shot to a 1-shot.
Right.
I have hair in my mouth. So that was just the dynamic of that. But no, I was more concerned about cussing on live TV.
Right.
And that's where, you know, because I know DeMarcus, I've been around him for years. I know the potential for explosion, and having it happen on live TV while I'm the one holding the microphone is always, it was scary.
Yes.
That was what I was worried about. But no, it's the point of that is, you know, how you handle it is very important in terms of how you are treated going forward. That's just logic, right? And you do make a really good point that the players and Mike Brown have handled it flawlessly. They've made their point. They haven't berated. They've said they had a tough job. They've said that they made mistakes. There's things they got to get better at, but that it's not fair for an official to miss an at the end of a game in a situation like that twice.
Kayte,
they handled it well.
Yeah. How does this team get more out of Harrison Barnes?
That's a really, really, really good question. So one of the things that is very different about Mike Brown's offense is there's not any play calling. It is a motion offense. It's run kind of through Domas. One of the things that Harrison has done well, and when he's had pretty good games, he's had a couple where he scored well, is just backdoor cutting and that kind of thing, attacking the rim. So I believe when they started the game against Golden State, he was 5-26 or 5-27 from long range through 7 or 8 games. Looking back at the same last year, I believe that he had made 26 threes at the same juncture last year. Now he got off to that hot start, but he also had shot a way higher volume. So this offense is not geared towards getting buckets for anybody. It is geared towards motion, moving, cutting, and kind of a two-man game between Domas and Kevin Huerter, or Domas and De'Aaron. And so really it's kind of, in my brain, I'm trying to figure it out as well, but the buckets will find them if they're there. But I also feel like he's playing a little bit lackadaisical, not looking for opportunities, not kind of imposing himself on the game maybe the way that he could. So it's just been a really awkward fit this year so far for him, trying to figure out his place in this offense.
Lastly, Kayte, and we've only got 20 seconds here, but I do want to compliment the two of you being able to get through that game when I think there was actually human sacrifices happening behind you. Well done.
Yeah.
They're mentioning it on the text line, and
if she didn't swear then she's going to be fine.
Seriously, well done. Good job.
Thank you. Yeah, one of the bigger broadcasting challenges of my short career, yes.
I love how you said, I'm not used to this type of noise. I'm like, that's a Wednesday afternoon at your house. What are you talking about? The dogs?
No, I discipline my child. Yeah.
Thank you. We'll talk to you in a week.
All right, you guys have a good one.
All right. That's Kayte Christensen. When we come back, Wine Wednesday, and we are just 15 minutes away from adding the newest member of our weekly lineup. I'm so excited. And we're going to get a word from you on our good friends at ACR Solar right after this.
Breaking news, the latest happenings with your favorite teams.
You ever wonder about what the heck all these kids are doing on the computers all the time?
Stay up to date with all of it by following us on Instagram and Twitter.
Excuse me, gentlemen, a little update for you.
At Sactown 1140.
All right, let me tell you about ACR Solar. Yesterday we had that rain that was just coming down and pouring, and you know what? I was just comfortable, relaxing in my house, eating soup, feet up, watching TV, not worried about any potential leaks because we have a brand new roof thanks to the great folks at ACR Solar and Roofing ACR Home Services. They do all of it, and we have an older home, and we've been in it now 20 years, and we had a situation where when we bought the house, the roof was a little bit older at the time. It was a shake roof, and just over time, leaves and debris and winters and summers and just life and time. It goes on, right? And we'd used all we could out of it. It served its purpose, and it was time for a new roof. And we weren't certain we were going to make it through another season of a winter, right, coming up. So now we went through the great folks at ACR Solar and Roofing, and when we met with them, we knew they were the right company for us, and their follow-through was just incredible. When we met with Joe Peterson, he's the roofing expert there. He laid it out how it was going to go, and then while the process was happening, he was thorough. He had great communication. He was on site via email, text, or in person. We knew what was going to happen each and every day. And now that the process is done, it's absolutely amazing. So we have the peace of mind. We have a great looking roof, curb appeal, and we know this is going to be a roof that's going to last us forever. So we are so thrilled with them. If you're in a spot where you need a new roof, check out acrsolar.com.
Got a take?
Make sure it's a hot one.
Take a shot right now. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports, 1140.
All right, it's Wine Wednesday. Wine Wednesday. Oh, am I reading in front of me? I'll have to find that read here in a second. Jason Ross, Carmichael Dave. UB40.
I wish.
You got a wine, Jason? I got one.
Go for it.
All right. I call my bluff. I will tell you what the problem is that I have a ton of wines that have nothing to do with sports.
Oh, that's mine as well.
I've got a wine from my trip.
Yeah, you and I were both on it. Like there's a lot of I feel like I can do about 15 airport wines.
Why is it that people forget when they're traveling to be humans, just human beings? Or is it that just the state of the world?
Which one? Let's do a combo airport, right? Because
okay.
I'd be curious if we're going in some of the same directions.
Well, first off, let me tell you, for the love of wine, it is Wine Wednesday. Let's hear your wine of the week as well. 1-800-920-1140. That's brought to you by 23 Wines. So I've got a bunch. I'll just leave it at this. Southwest is, they don't have different classes, and even if they did, I wouldn't pay for it. But there is one.
Oh yeah.
There is one seat above all on a Southwest plane. It is on the right side of the plane as you walk in. It's by the emergency row exit, and
it's the best seat now.
It's the best. It's the best seat because there's no seat directly in front of it. So somebody who's tall can stretch their legs out. All right. You don't get a tray or anything like that. There's some drawbacks, but you get the leg room, which is great for tall people like me, like you, whatever. So I got on there and I'm so excited because there was about 12 people ahead of me, and this guy sits down, this lady sits down, this, and fine. And I'm getting closer and closer to the seat. I get to the row behind it, and there's one guy in front of me, and he's like 5'7". Like, I got the seat, dude.
Yeah. He took it.
Yeah. And I'm not a confrontational guy. I'm really not. Life's too short. But man, I glared at him. Honestly, I was.
You gave him the look?
I was so close. To just going, really? But the bottom line is, there's no rules that say you have to be tall to have the seat. And he got the seat, and he got it fair and square. He boarded ahead of me. It's just one of those. It's the same thing as I know there's laws against it now in some places, but it's like the person that drives 55 in the fast lane. Like, yeah, okay, fine, technically.
Yeah.
But if you really should, honestly, if you're not 6'3", 6'4", or above, you should not be sitting in that seat. Give it to somebody who's tall. And this guy, he wasn't even close. It wasn't even like 6 foot. He was what I would consider a shorter person. He just took the seat because
Yeah. I think it all falls under the same umbrella. It's being socially aware.
Yeah.
And that's I'm just thinking about the trip, getting it, the person that, how many times is someone from TSA going, have your IDs out and ready? And usually it's the person right in front of you that's on the phone, gets called up, and then shuffling through 6 bags to find it. Like, yeah, is this your first trip?
Yeah, have you ever done this
or
before?
Did you not hear anybody? So there's one.
Right.
I don't know. The airport isn't like the most wide hallway sometimes, but maybe the family of 7 that's walking 7 wide. Like,
yeah, or do you really need to do that? Or you're in Portland, they have, where I was, they have the walkway where that's automated, and then you've got the family that's taking up both sides, but not walking.
Yeah, because it's kind of a fast lane.
You're supposed to leave. You if you're standing, you're on the right.
Yeah.
If you're walking, you go on the left. Person who brings the way incredibly oversized carry-on, and then just proceeds to try to football tackle it into this tiny little 4x4 space.
Yeah. Or the vice versa that has, a tiny backpack or little duffel and a coat, and they spread that amongst like the entire, like, can we?
Oh, I just shove it out of the way. If they're doing that, I don't even care.
But again, it's just not being socially aware.
You're
like,
just not aware.
Your stuff's important. I'm not saying your stuff isn't.
At all.
But
you're not the only person in the world.
Exactly.
Hey, also, please don't bring your stinky stinky food on the plane, and just like you just rolled into the insert restaurant with incredibly smelly food.
Yeah.
It's not, and by the way, not just stinky, smelly, because you know what? I was hungry too. I didn't.
Yeah.
Now I have this flight in front. Just eat before. And if you don't have time, I'm sorry you didn't budget your time correctly. But now everybody else gets to smell your food, whether good or bad. And just understand, it's like taking off your shoes and socks.
Yeah,
come on, man.
And the whole, when the second the plane stops, the people that jump up and try to get into the bins, but then there's also the people that like try to get up further, and they might be in row 10, 15, and they try to get all the way up to the front. It's like, well, we all have places to go.
Yeah, we all do.
I don't know.
No, I really, honestly, it's so difficult for me when I see somebody rushing up from the back. It's so, one of the hardest things in my life is not just to casually stick my foot out in the aisle and watch them fall face first.
Right.
Like I have daydreams about that. Just when you're traveling, here's a couple. Let me, Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross's tips to travel, especially on an airplane. Number one, know the rules, dude. Don't roll in and hold up the whole security line because you're trying to bring in a bottle of Snapple.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, I forgot all the change and the belt I'm wearing, whatever. Just understand, number one. Number two, if you can't, I understand this, but if you can, take a shower before you get on the plane.
It'd be nice.
Maybe
for others.
Make sure you got clean clothes on.
Yeah.
Try. Hey, listen,
do your best.
Do your best.
Yeah.
If I have time, I have a superstition. I always try to take a nice long hot shower before I'm flying somewhere, and then I wear comfortable clothes. If it's this time of year, a hoodie and some nice smooth, something that's comfortable, slip-on shoes.
Yeah.
Travel right, but do good for others. Number three, if you're watching TV or listening to music, have headphones.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard.
Right.
A couple flights ago, there's a guy watching on his iPad, just blasting it. It wasn't anything. It wasn't like porn or anything, but still, I don't want to hear your Grey's Anatomy rerun, dude. It's cool. And number four,
dude,
and I'll leave. Dude.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Number four, and lastly, for me at least, and this should go without saying, but just gonna throw it out there. And I'm sorry to everybody listening. Please don't wipe your boogers on the tray table.
Is this a thing?
I've had it. I've seen it 3 times.
Sorry, Dave. You're after me.
When we come back. Well, we're already breaking? Okay. When we come back. My bad. When we come back. Jay, help me out. Are we coming back straight to, do I get it? What's going on?
We're coming back straight.
Okay. When we come back, I'm so excited. The newest member of our weekly guests. We're very excited. You're going to enjoy it too. Don't go away. It's next.
Live and local. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Made Chevy saves you $5,000 off MSRP on new 2022 Silverado Crew Cab half-ton 4x4 with LT package. $5,000 off Silverado exclusively at Made Chevy. See them all at MadeChevy.com. Find new road.
51524 ends 113042. Includes $500 Chevy Cyber Cash event.
I'm Craig Ashton of the Injury Law Firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
1 day per week watering began November 1st. Reducing your outdoor watering or turning off your sprinklers for the season will save water during the drought. Learn more at cityofsacramento.org/drought.
Hanley's Kia in Davis is having its biggest sales event of the year. Our November Black Friday sales event is here. Our inventory is growing daily. Don't miss your chance for great deals now on all new Kias. Get $1,000 off MSRP on the all-new redesigned 2023 Kia Niro Hybrid. Rated at over 50 miles per gallon. 10 to choose from at this price. Come check out Hanley's Kia's inventory of gas-saving models during our Black Friday sales event. Rio, Soul, Forte, Niro Hybrid, K5, Stinger, EV6 plug-in, Seltos Cross SUV, Sportage Hybrid SUV, Sorento Hybrid and Plug-in SUV, and Telluride SUV. We offer zero down, special APR financing, and we can also help with any credit problems. Don't miss your chance. It's here, the Hanley's Kia Black Friday sales event. Hanley's Kia is located at 4318 Childs Road, just off I-80 at the Mace Boulevard exit in Davis. $1,000 off MSRP on all new 2023 Nero hybrids. All financing subject to credit approval. All offers expire 11/30/2022.
Hey, it's Nick Cattles, and you should start your holidays right with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers from California Backyard. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill is turning me into a pro. Think outside the kitchen this year and cook your entire holiday meal on a Napoleon gas grill. Napoleon, their grills are built to last. I'll tell you right now, all made with premium steel that boasts quality. Check out Napoleon Grills today at any of the 4 nearby California Backyard locations. They're always the best in backyard living. Check them out at Napoleon.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Check out my friends at Downtown Ford. New location, new ownership, and absolutely no markups. That's unheard of. Downtown Ford, 1535 Howe Avenue in Sacramento. Come see Aaron, because I guarantee you he's got what you're looking for.
Sactown Sports Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports Headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings return home to the Golden One Center tonight against Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Kings are coming off a 4-game road trip where the team went 2-2.
You heard it. There
Cleveland
you go.
comes
The
in
newest
sporting the
member of the
second best
show
record in the Eastern Conference at 8-2. Coverage begins with game night at 5:30 on Sactown Sports. The Las Vegas Raiders have waived former first-round pick Jonathan Abram, the number 27 overall pick in the 2019 draft. Abram had been the Raiders' starting strong safety before losing his job in Week 8 to Duran Harmon. With Abrams' release, only 11 out of 23 players drafted by former GM Mike Mayock and head coach John Gruden remain with the Raiders. California voters overwhelmingly rejected 2 propositions yesterday that would have expanded sports betting in the Golden State, despite over $600 million being spent on the 2 propositions combined. Had the propositions passed, sports betting would have been legalized by allowing it at tribal casinos and horse tracks or through mobile and online wagering. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
It's the Kevin Huerter Show.
The Huerter for 3 rips the courts for the first 3 points of the ball game. Welcome to Sacramento, Kevin Huerter.
The Kevin Huerter Show.
Huerter, bring up another triple.
Brought to you by Jiffy Lube. With over 25 locations in the greater Sacramento area, get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season today.
Well, you heard it. There you go. The newest member of the show is going to be on each Wednesday at 8:20 time. But remember, he's an NBA player. He's usually up late. He has made an amazing impact, not just on this team, but in this community already. And we are absolutely stoked to have him. Thanks to our good friends, as always, at Jiffy Lube, Mr. Kevin Huerter. Kevin, it's Dave. It's Jason. Thanks for joining us, my man.
Oh, thank you guys for having me on. Really exciting. Hopefully it's a good year. Glad to be on this with you guys.
So just real quick, so far, since this is our first one, have you had much of a chance to get out and about? I know we talked at media day. There's some golf going on for sure, but are you still learning the ropes here in Sac?
I am. It's taken a little bit of time, but it's something I'm definitely trying to do, is get out, find new restaurants. A lot of the preseason for me was golf. I've definitely slowed down on the golf train since the season has started, but I'm a big foodie, restaurant guy. I'm trying to find a lot of restaurants in Sac. If people got any ideas, definitely tweet at me. But just trying to learn the city, find some friends, and off days like today, it's great to be able to have things to do and get out in the city and see people, meet people.
So is there a specific type of food that's number one in your wheelhouse? You trying to find that particular brand, like Sacramento's best at this? Is that what you're looking for?
I've always been an Italian fan, but I haven't heard many good recommendations on the Italian front. Gotten a lot of good sushi here in Sac. Gotten a lot of good, couple good steakhouses, couple good like Vietnamese spots, but a lot of good sushi. So it's a little bit different, from the East Coast.
I'd say over under what, about 27 recommendations from Maguni?
There are. Now you should see. I got a whole like notes page in my phone, and yeah, McCooney was like the first recommendation from the first 10 people I met here.
Yeah, my guy Taro, he's the best. All right, so let's before we get into basketball, I want to get it out of the way, the big elephant in the room. So here's the rules, everybody listening. Jason and I can say whatever we want. Kevin Huerter is the guy with the wallet, so you feel free to comment or not comment. But we're fresh off a day plus. We got Cleveland coming up tonight. That's a heartbreaker in San Francisco. And I tweeted out, as did a lot of people, the play at the end of the game. You went up for the shot, and Clay fouled you not once, not twice, a minimum of 3 times in the last 2-minute report, much like the Tyler Hero travel, which doesn't help, came out and said that was not the right call. You pleaded your case. I know you knew you weren't going to win there, but what does that do mentally, and how are you feeling today about it?
It's definitely, it's a tough situation to be in. It's, it's so hard to win in this league. I think, we've been working so hard as a team, and obviously as a city, they want us to win. And, just felt like we've definitely had opportunities really twice now in the past week to, have games go differently. And obviously a couple calls and a couple things haven't gone our way. And it's just, it's frustrating to be in those positions. And, similarly to how I tweeted, it doesn't feel like as players you have much power with what's going on. I think I knew right away walking off the court what that 2-minute report was going to come out and say yesterday, and it said what we all thought it was going to. But at the end of the day, we walk out of there with a loss, and we walked out of Miami with a loss. And for a team and a city that's trying to change things and continue to get as many wins as possible, it's a frustrating pill to swallow walking off the court.
Kevin, what do you think for Coach Brown to come out twice now and really protect you guys, blast the officials in a soft way? I mean, he could have pounded the table, punched the microphone, but he made his point, and it didn't result in the second time here. But what did that do for you? What do you think it's done to the league to at least put that on notice?
Yeah, I mean, that's huge for us as players. I've seen our coach fighting for us. I think it would have spoke volumes if he didn't say anything at all. And yeah, it wasn't like he was malicious. Tyler Hero's a great player. We know Steph Curry's a great player. Klay Thompson, great player. It was taking nothing away from those players or those teams. But, he, as well as we all do, think we have every right to speak on something that, we thought was wrong. And so him just coming out and saying something is huge, obviously, for us in the locker room, just knowing he has our back. And, just trying to put on notice. We obviously want things to turn around here. We want respect across the league, obviously within the referee crowd, and Coach Brown is making sure that certain things don't go unnoticed.
Being on Atlanta last year, a team that's been in the playoffs. By the way, you're listening to the Kevin Huerter Show each and every Wednesday, 8:27, brought to you by our good friends at Jiffy Lube. You come from a playoff culture, and you come to a place in Sacramento that hasn't made it in 16 years. Now, we as fans are used to getting screwed by refs, but as a player, it even without those 2 plays, is it palpable to you the difference in how Kings games are called versus games in the past? Is that something you can feel, or is it just really the big plays?
It hurts me to say this, but yes, honestly, that is something within the first 6 games has been noticeable. I won't say which teammates, but a couple of teammates that have been here said things are different here in Sac. We don't get many calls. You're going to realize every game things are different, and honestly, it is something I've felt so far. I think there's maybe one game. I think it was the Charlotte game. I think we got a good whistle, and other than that, I think it hasn't gone in our favor a lot.
Wow, I can just feel everybody, all the Kings fans going, that's how we feel. I mean, it is amazing, Kevin, that you actually you feel it. You do feel this already.
A little bit, to be honest. Yeah, there's even games at home. Even games at home, that a couple of the early ones early in the season. It's a tough thing to point to. It's tough to get up here and you point a finger at the referees. It's a really cheap way to look at it, but it's definitely a factor. It's like I said, it's really hard to win in this league, and certain things just haven't gone our way. And at some points, it's definitely frustrating.
Easiest question I'll ask you the whole interview. They call that foul. Are you making all 3?
Damn right. You're damn right.
Well, yeah, and even the other part, that's the situation everybody highlighted right at the end of the game. The other part of the last 2-minute report claimed that Steph traveled with
think it was 11 seconds left. That situation actually puts you guys even in a better spot, a 1-point game with the ball, all sorts of options there. I mean, they kind of got you twice, which is, I mean, you can't do anything about it now. Dave and I have talked about the last 2-minute report. I get why they do it. I honestly don't know if it's good for the league, Kevin. I mean, you know, these refs are getting evaluated. They can apologize. They can say they got the call wrong. But in your opinion, just as a basketball fan, a player, do you think the last 2-minute report is actually a good thing for the league?
I do. I think as teams and as players and probably as coaches, you want to see some sort of ownership of, you know, the calls that were made. And it's just tough. It doesn't change anything. You know, the 2-minute report comes out and you move on to the next game. You know, I think for us, and I know that, you know, refs are based on a point system and refs are trying to get in and get playoff games. And I get all that. It's just the accountability. You know, there's a million plays over the course of a game. You can look at travels or fouls, but, you know, when it comes down to blatant foul calls or, you know, blatant travels at the end of the game, those are the ones that you point at and you say, yeah, that single play would have had a big difference in a win or a loss. And but at the end of the day, you can't change it. That's just basketball. It's sports. Some things didn't go our way. It's just, I'm waiting for the one game where it feels like we get a good whistle, where we squeak out a win we probably shouldn't have had. And it's just tough. It's tough.
Kevin Huerter with us, and now you got Cleveland tonight, and that's a major challenge, and you have to wipe off the whatever off your shoulders and refocus. But you know, 16 years of not making the playoffs weighs really heavy on a fan base, and I think you already know how rabid this fan base is in your short time here. But it does seem that there's a palpable change beginning in the culture, especially on the defensive end. And, you know, between obviously Coach Brown, Doug Christie, and everybody on that staff, it really seems like the communication level and the accountability level on defense is something that we haven't seen in a while. Is that something you see as well?
No, it is. I mean, Coach Brown he's huge with accountability. You've seen there's a lot of times he calls quick timeouts, and those timeouts are 95% of the time because we're screwing up something defensively. I think I had one in transition against the Warriors. We're not getting back, and that was a major key to the game, is not letting them score in transition. Across practice, it doesn't matter if you're the 16th guy on the team or the first guy. You know, he's very big on accountability. He's not afraid to call anybody out. And but it's a good culture to build. It's you can't hide from it. The accountability across the board is something that you can respect as a player. When he does get on you, you respect it because you know you're wrong. You know he's getting on you because you're wrong, and that's huge. And it's tough to win in this league. It's tough to build a culture. You know, I know it's been 16 years, and people you really want us to make it there, but this is relatively. It's a new group, and you know it's going to take us a little bit of time. I think right now building the right habits early in the season. Learning how to play hard, learning how to play together, and you know, being in close games. You know, we obviously that Warriors game, that Miami game, we lose 2 close games, but you know, there's been a couple of games we've won that have come down to the wire, and that Charlotte game, the Miami game at home, and so yeah, we're building something. It's a really long season. I'm not sure what our record is. We're 3-6 or 3-7 right now. I'm not sure, but yeah, we're looking at a big picture. If we continue to do the right things, play the right way, lay the right foundation. Yeah, we're really excited for, you know, where we could be going.
I want to ask you about one of those wins was Saturday in Orlando. Time seems to stop. De'Aaron Fox is as quick as anybody in the league, and it just looking back on it, it felt like a play like that might go to De'Aaron, and he's just going all the way. But he just seems so under control, so measured, and obviously the result is fantastic. What was your take on watching basically De'Aaron hit one heck of a shot?
I mean, he's unbelievable. That whole overtime, it was just bucket after bucket after bucket, just carrying us. Even to send it to overtime, it was. I think he had the last couple buckets of that. Just the literal definition of willing us to a win on the road. It's what you need out of your best player, out of your superstar. And wasn't surprised when that shot went in. You know, he was in a different type of groove. You know, for him to be so aware of the clock and seemed to be playing at his own pace. He was so under control, was relaxed, and took that shot where it went in as the buzzer sounded. It's everything you need from someone who we're going to count on, obviously, to manage games for us and close out games. That was a huge shot, a big win for us on the road, a game that we almost gave away. And he obviously came and saved us and really piggybacked us to a win.
And it's not like you're not used to playing with pretty dynamic point guards. Going from Trey to De'Aaron, do you see some similarities between the two of them? Obviously speed, but beyond that?
They're both so just naturally gifted. It's just absolute bucket getters. It feels like, at times the rest of our team needs an offense to generate shots and get good shots, and then De'Aaron can dribble the ball up the court and just get to the rim and score the easiest 2 points we've had in a couple possessions. And Trey had a similar type of way about his game where he can just go get you a bucket when you needed a bucket. And the best teams have that. Obviously, a lot of teams have a couple of those guys, but for us, just De'Aaron being able to control the game and be dominant at different parts in the game is obviously huge, especially at the point guard position.
How about you? How comfortable are you now? I mean, it's still early, 9 games in, but you're shooting it really well. You're playing off Sabonis very well. Just your adjustment to a new group and kind of a new offense.
Yeah, I mean, he was obviously someone I was really excited about coming into SAC and having the opportunity to play with. He was I've never played with a 5-man who could pass the way he can. I've never played with a 5-man that is obviously as smart as he is and is really a 0.5. A lot of the 5s that I played with, the Clint Capellas and Bruno Fernando in college, and even Alex Len now in SAC, but in Atlanta, just guys who are really rim runners, shot blockers, playing above the rim. And so it's a little bit different just playing off of a 5-man. Obviously, my role off of De'Aaron is, for the most part, spacing the court, keeping guys out of the paint for him, making sure my guy is in no-help scenarios. But a lot of my 2-man game has been with Domas. And it's been easy. I think a big reason why I'm shooting so well is I just feel in rhythm. All of my shots are within the offense. A lot of them aren't stuff that I really have to generate by myself. It's just I'm running off a pin down screen, running off a DHO, catching and shooting. And it's all stuff that you work on all summer. So I think my game here has gotten a little bit easier. I'm not really working as hard to get my shots. And early in the season, they've been falling.
All right, last thing for you, and it's the most important thing. It's your nickname. It's all over the place. Obviously, we were used to Red Velvet. K9 has popped up, and then I see Kenny Thomas out at a golf tournament, and there's a little controversy there. You might have to give him some money or something for that if you want it. And then what did I hear? Mark Jones calling you K-Vaughn when you start to heat up, going from Kevin to K-Vaughn. Do you have a preference, or are you just saying bring them all on? What's up?
We can bring them all on. I think the Red Velvet and the K-Vaughn are extensions off of Atlanta. Sorry, the Red Velvet and K-Vaughn. K9 is new to SAC, so I'm cool with that. It's kind of what a couple of people on our coaching staff have started to say. I think mostly making fun of me, to be honest. I don't know if it's serious. But K9 is cool with me here in SAC. K-Vaughn's a little bit of an alter ego, and I think Red Velvet is what most people know it as.
All right. Well, each and every week, thanks to our friends at Jiffy Lube, we have the pleasure of visiting with K-Vaughn, with Red Velvet, with K9, and, of course, Kevin Huerter, all of them. So we get like 4 guests in one joining us every Wednesday at 8:27. Brother, appreciate it. Good luck tonight against Cleveland, and thanks so much for agreeing to join us this year.
Awesome. It's good to dub tonight. Thank you, guys.
Sponsors of the Kevin Huerter Show each and every Wednesday at 8:27. We'll go over a lot of what he said because, my goodness, he said a lot, along with what's hot, what's not in the news next.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, a Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. So, Chad, honest question. Why drive all the way to Hoblet when the other guys are so much closer?
Well, I could tell you about our true pricing policy, where the price you see is the price you pay. I could tell you, in order to help support our community, all business owners, farmers, and first responders will get an extra $1,000 discount on their new Ram trucks, all of which makes us the #1 heavy-duty Ram truck dealer in California. Or I could let our customers tell the story.
Hoblet made the process so smooth when getting my partner's Jeep deal done. I came back a week later and bought my own Jeep. I appreciate Hoblet for their approach to getting deals done and treating people like people rather than another number.
Come see for yourself why Hoblet Dodge is your small town dealer with big city selection and savings. Come be treated like family instead of a sucker with Hoblet's true pricing with no dealer markups, add-ons, or hidden fees. Stop by Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland or see our full selection with true prices at hobletdodge.com. Best prices, best selection, period.
ATM Mortgage. Hi, this is Jeff Tarbell. Is it time to pack up and leave the Golden State? Whether it's a job change or you just need a change, ATM Mortgage can help with financing for just about any destination you have in mind. You can reach us today at 916-338-9400, 338-9400, or online at atmmortgage.net. ATM Mortgage. License under California CFL and MLS 223-4889.
Every day, I bet your floors have shoe grime and pet grime and invisible grime.
Invisible grime?
Yep, the kind of grime that you only notice when you look at your socks.
Ew.
So get Swiffer Sweeper Wet, the cleaning power of a mop with the convenience of a wipe. Sweeper heavy-duty wet pads come prepped with a cleaning solution that traps and locks dirt and grime deep inside the pad, even dirt and grime you can't see, for the clean floors you want, anytime you want it. Swiffer Sweeper heavy-duty wet pads.
This week on RVER, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
Hey, Chief, we got a damaged RV on its way to the OR.
Well, that sounds like a job for the new head of RV surgery.
Wait, are you promoting me?
Congrats, Martinez.
Doctor, that RV's flatlining.
Well, that sounds like a job for the new head of nursing.
So you're just promoting everyone now?
Yeah, kind of looks that way, doesn't it?
When your RV really needs saving, Progressive has you covered. See if you could save with a leader in RV insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, covered subject to policy terms.
Capital City Honda has a great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Right now, get 0.99% APR for 24 to 36 months on certified Civics and CRVs. Plus, new Hondas arriving daily with no dealer markup. We're the Tire Center, your place to buy your next set of tires. From 24-month tire road hazard coverage to 15-mile complimentary towing at Cap City Freeway by the Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. CapCityHonda.com. Please loyalty for current owners of any 2012 or newer Honda goes toward cap cost or down payment assistance. With approved credits, $42.94 for 1,000 finance. Down payment varies based on credit rating plus TTNL. See dealer for details.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad that those arch supports are in my shoes. I have terrible foot issues that prevented me from really having a normal life with my kids. With the Good Feet arch supports, man, I'm always ready. My kids actually got to enjoy me in the yard more, racing each other, backpedaling, teaching them some things, being a dad. If I had known about the Good Feet arch support earlier, I would have more than one championship. I would have 2 championship rings.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Sore feet? Aching back? Even plantar fasciitis? Come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, and Modesto. What's hot and what's not? Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot.
And what's not?
It's not good.
Brought to you by American Energy Air and Solar, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company and second opinion partner.
Oh, who is hot?
Who's hot?
Who?
The highest scoring 5-man lineup in the NBA this season. Are you ready for
Ooh,
it?
curious. Can you give us a team?
Detroit.
Well, Cade Cunningham.
Jaden Ivey.
Okay.
Bojan Bogdanovic.
Should have drafted Jaden. Right? Isn't that what we're supposed to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sadiq Bey.
Okay.
And Isaiah Stewart.
That's the highest in the league?
That is the highest scoring 5-man lineup this season.
Do we need to fact check that, or you did it already?
No, it's fact checked.
Sure?
Okay.
Who's not?
Who's not?
The rest of Detroit's lineups?
No, the Knicks.
Oh, woof.
This is the most weird team ever. So they are 500, but it's like the most perfectly balanced 500 of all time. They're 5-0 versus teams below 500.
Okay.
They're 0-5 versus teams 500 or above.
That's how it should be.
So they have a 5-5 record. They're also 1-1 in OT. They've allowed 115 points per game while scoring 115 points per game exactly.
Wow. Way to go, Knicks.
Yeah, way to Knicks. What are they even, by the way? I don't even know what the Knicks are.
They're Knickerbockers.
Yeah,
They're
they are.
just out there, nicking away at whatever it is.
So we had to go to break.
It's like the most popular bad team of all time.
Well, yeah, it's basketball mecca. I'm so tired of hearing that. Like, dude,
the Garden.
You're terrible. If that's basketball mecca, then that's
the Garden. Go to the Garden.
We had to go to break.
Garden.
We got to get to news and celebrity birthdays. Thanks to Kevin Huerter and his team and everybody behind the scenes. Scott Marsh was invaluable in this whole thing as well on our side. And everybody for putting this together. We're going to have Kevin each and every week, asterisk. So here's the thing.
He's an NBA player. He's got a schedule. I think we'd like him fresh for games.
Yeah, as Kings fans, the first thing we said to him is, we don't want to mess with your schedule at all. And our first duty is to you guys, the listeners, the viewers. So I'll present it like this. Kevin was perfectly willing to do today's show live at 8:27. And we thought a lot about it. But when we found out what their schedule is today, being on a game day and walkthrough and all that, and what they had to do yesterday and blah, 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 the question is, would you rather? It's neat to have it live.
Yeah.
But the only time that really makes a difference is if there's some crazy breaking news. And maybe we get caught with that one of these times. But you would have had nobody's great waking up. So you'd have sleepy Kevin Huerter.
Yeah. You hear us every morning.
And I think
imagine us later in the day.
Yeah, exactly. I think he was fan. If every interview is anywhere near as good as he was on that interview, this is going to be amazing. He was wonderful. Yes. He was insightful. He was articulate. Not that he wouldn't be, but just the way
he said stuff.
Yes, he did say stuff. I think we're serving you better by doing that than, oh, hey, it's at 8:27, it's live. Hey, Kevin Huerter, everybody. Hey, Kevin Huerter, how you doing? You know, and not that he'd do that, but just saying, there's going to be times, by the way, where we may have to move it a day. Looking ahead at the Kings' schedule.
They do travel. They have games. They have shoot-arounds, all different stuff.
So we wanted to bring this to y'all. We're super happy about it.
Yes.
Congratulations to Brent, who was really the only guy that full-on guessed this thing. Justin guessed it later on. We wanted to do this for you guys, but we also, our first duty, along with you guys, is also to the team as well. All right. Let's go ahead and do some news and notes right now.
Stand by on this frequency. It's time for the news of the day.
Thank you for ruining the show and dropping a steamer on my journalistic integrity.
Today's important headlines, intelligent analysis, hard-hitting interviews. Yeah, this is none of those things. Here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Oh my God, I love those guys.
All right, we'll go light on the news. Really just a stat for you today because I thought it was fun. It's also fun to reminisce. 34 years ago today, Michael Jordan had 52 points and 9 steals against the Celtics. He had 8 steals in the first half. I don't even understand that. 8 steals in the first half?
Yeah, what happened in the second half, Mike?
Yeah, Mike. Way to fail.
Yeah.
Failure. More like fail, Jordan. There have been 16 instances of 50 points and 5 steals in NBA history.
Those are easy.
He has 5 of them.
Come on.
64 and 5, 53 and 6, 56 and 8, 52 and 9, 50 and 5. Woof. By the way, I'm just looking at those stat lines. It reminded me. So the video Kayte talked about, the video of DeMarcus going off after that. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. It's getting ridiculous, man. I like how he kept calling her man, too. Yeah. It's getting ridiculous, man. The best part about that whole video to me that I forgot is you look at his stat line, 55 points, and he went to the line 17 times, and he was ballistic.
Yeah. That's the one he got called, Moke's calling him back in.
Yes.
Like, somebody get him. Yeah.
That was the Rocky game.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, DeMarcus. Oh, DeMarcus, you character, you. Today is... I wish we'd done yesterday. Yesterday, we missed World Radiography Day.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
We're radiographed 3 times a year.
Today is World Adoption Day. Well, hey, adopt.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. It's great.
Don't shop.
Today's National... Hey, Jason. Today is National Louisiana Day.
Oh, how about that?
A state near and dear to our hearts.
Sunshine State.
City there. Yes, the Sunshine State, Louisiana. Let's see. Oh, we already talked about muffaletta sandwiches.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a few years since I've been back. I do enjoy me that part of it.
I think you're due.
Yeah, I think I am.
Some
A lot of
jambalaya,
gators.
Yeah.
crawfish,
Go to the gumbo shop.
Gator.
gumbo.
I tried gator once.
Live or dead?
Yeah, no live. I actually ate a live gator. It was amazing. And today
You
is
sacrificed a live gator?
he sacrificed himself for me. And finally, today is National Scrapple Day.
Scrabble or
National
scrapple?
Scrapple Day. I bring this up because if you are an East Coaster, you specifically in the Pennsylvania area, you know what this is. It is the first pork food invented in America. Pork sausage, Spam, all that, it all comes out of scrapple. It's traditionally a mush, a grind of pork scraps and trimmings combined with cornmeal, wheat flour, and spices like sage, thyme, savory, and black pepper. It's then formed into a semi-solid loaf, sliced, and pan-fried. It's very much like pork sausage, but actually better. I've had it before, and it's a wonderful breakfast meat. Also, they need to make it easier for bacon to be available. There should always be ready-cooked bacon in your fridge. I wanted a nice BLT yesterday for lunch. I didn't want to cook the bacon. I know they have the refrigerated bacon that's already cooked. It's just not the same. Jason, celebrity birthday.
Celebrity birthday is Jay won yesterday, Dave. You were just like, it wasn't like you were even involved in
You
it.
didn't even get one right.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. You need to have a comeback today.
I guess.
Happy birthday on this November 9th to Nick Lachey. From what, 98 degrees?
Very good.
Is it 98 degrees?
Yes,
I mean, you would know.
Yes, former husband of Jessica Simpson.
Yeah.
They had a reality show.
Oh, Nick Lachey.
Yes, Nick Lachey.
Who's his current wife? Vanessa?
Vanessa Hudgens.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not Hudgens.
Hutchins?
No,
Hudgens?
isn't it someone else?
I don't think so.
Nicki Minaj?
No,
No,
Vanessa.
Kylie Minogue.
No, I don't think it's not.
Vanessa Hudgens.
Okay.
Let me look.
I think
Hold
it's
on.
a different.
Vanessa Manillo.
Manillo.
Wow.
But wasn't he dating Vanessa Hudgens?
No, he was, and he hates her.
Really?
Everyone knows that.
This is key to remember Vanessa Lachey.
Vanessa, wow.
Because let's do the couples. It is their birthday. Nick and Vanessa Lachey.
Really?
So let's take.
Nick Lachey is, I'm going to say
98 degrees.
48.
Jay?
Nick Lachey is 46.
He's 49. How about his lovely bride, Vanessa Not Hudgens?
She is 39.
37.
42.
Wow, she's old.
Happy birthday to the Incredible Hulk, Lou Ferrigno.
Oh, still going strong.
Yeah.
Lou is 77 today.
Is
Can
he?
you believe it?
Wow, good
he's
for him.
Actually 76.
Is he still great?
Hey, you make me when I'm angry.
He is 71 today.
Oh, wow. Younger. Wow.
How
Did I
did
win?
You did.
You know, one of the saddest scenes in the history of television is the old Incredible Hulk series where, like, at the end, David Banner's just, like, walking with his little knapsack down the road. At the end, the piano is playing. Yeah.
Get you every time.
That gets me a little tear, a little green tear.
Happy birthday to the Thong Song and Cisco.
Oh, with a Q.
Yeah.
Cisco's, big birthday for Cisco today. He is 50.
47.
He is 44 today.
Wow, Cisco is younger than I thought.
Happy birthday. He's still with us, and I'm glad I wasn't sure when I looked it up, but happy birthday to Whitey Herzog.
Ah, Whitey Gleason's dad.
Is Whitey Herzog's? Is he really? I thought he. Hold on.
Unless it was incorrect in what I
No,
looked up.
I trust you.
I don't know.
You don't get this stuff wrong, but God, I thought Whitey Herzog passed a few years back. Whitey Herzog.
You might see his birthday when you look up. But.
Oh, okay. Hold on. All right. I'm going to say Whitey Herzog is 81.
Jay?
88.
He's 91. Is he still with us, Dave, just for confirmation?
He is still with us.
Happy birthday, Whitey Herzog.
I thought he died a long time ago. Good for him.
And you didn't get him anything for his birthday.
I did. Good for you, Whitey Herzog. You know what Whitey Herzog's full name is? I didn't until just
Clarence.
now. It's kind of, I mean, which is a better manager, guys? Whitey Herzog or Darrell Norman Elvert Herzog?
Oh, that guy would have never lost. Wait, say the full name again.
Dorrell, Dorrel, Darrell Norman Elvert, as in Alberta, but no A, Herzog. Woof. Is Norm Herzog a good manager?
D-N-E-H.
Is Darrell Herzog a good manager?
Nah, Darrell Herzog got fired.
Elvert Herzog. Ellie Herzog.
AAA.
Elf. Yeah.
What about Dwighty Herzog?
I mean, how do you get Whitey out of that?
Well,
I think it's time for us to end the show. It's time for us to say goodbye.
Kayte Christensen. Kevin Huerter.
That guy,
Red Velvet. All of you watchers and listeners, Jay Mars, Jason Ross, and Carmichael Dave. Jim Rome is next. Cattles and Rami this afternoon. Go Kings! Bye.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated.